This is a Headgum podcast.
Hey, buddy, did you miss the Tournament of Champions Munch Madness finale? Well, the live stream replay is available for you to watch at moment.co/doughboys. It is a 6-hour, jam-packed, entertainment adjacent pay-per-chew over at moment.co/doughboys. Wow, check it out. There is a disturbance in the Force. So began a lengthy Facebook post dated April 23, 2016 by the musician Moby, addressing this shocking revelation that Matthew and Terces Engelhart, the husband and wife owners of a Bay Area-based vegan chain, were secretly raising their own cattle for milk, as well as slaughtering them for meat. At the time, Moby himself was a plant-based restaurateur, owning Silver Lake vegan bistro Little Pine, which he assured his audience wasn't just cynical opportunism. As he added in his post, quote, "I'm a vegan for life." The Engleharts, meanwhile, represent in microcosm the larger transformation of the health and wellness demographic from plant-based to just based. Pokemon evolving from crunchy granola yoga practitioners to Trump-voting tallow evangelists. And they're eerie, a 2010 sensation in moneyed liberal enclaves San Francisco and Los Angeles, drawing celebrity diners like Anne Hathaway, Orlando Bloom, and Beyoncé featuring Jay-Z, has had other brushes with controversy, with labor violations like forcing their employees to take paid classes with Landmark Worldwide, a new religious movement that's legalese for cult. The restaurant is a self-proclaimed practitioner of, quote, sacred commerce, and is infamous for their cringe affirmational menu item names, such as I am energetic, I am together, and I am glorious, a kale salad, chips and guac, and a Caesar wrap, respectively. Today, the mix of controversy and the entry of even more obnoxious and overpriced options into the wellness space has led to the Englehart's chain shrinking to just 2 locations. Meanwhile, Matthew Engelhart had his own batshit Facebook post defending he and his wife's carnivorous conversion, reading in part, quote, "As in the Passion of Christ, we all have to spill our blood for humanity to know the Father. The cow's sacrifice has been ordained. Ours we must choose." Whatever your stance on eating animal products, we can all agree, these kind of people are the fucking worst. This week on Doughboys, I am annoyed as we review Cafe Gratitude. Welcome to Doughboys, the podcast about chain restaurants. I'm Tiger Weiger, along with my co-host, El Chalupa Cabra, the Spoon Man Mike Mitchell. That's fun.
Is it?
El Chupacabra, but a chalupa. Nice little
just
portmanteau.
Maybe I'm in a bad mood today, but I don't know.
El Chalupa Cabra.
I don't know if I like it.
Well, you're definitely not going to like it after I read the email that was sent in. A take on the famous goat sucker in light of Mitch's Brady fluffing. Kurt R. roastedbirdfuck.com.
He's admitting that Brady's the goat.
He's saying Brady's his goat, but he's also saying you suck him off.
So?
All right, touche.
Would you suck off Brady?
I guess so.
The golden boy? You got the golden hog in your mouth? You wouldn't do it? Why? I
guess you'd have to just so you could talk about doing it.
Yeah. That's one thing. Look, you talk about deflating stuff. It's one thing I wouldn't mind deflating. Brady's hog. Everyone knows once you get sucked off, your hog deflates.
Yeah, you go back flaccid. It's usually the cycle. Mitch, we are Frank banking this episode because our guest is in town. His guest lives outside.
You tell me never to date the episode.
I just decided to do it. I'm doing it now because we're in the midst of Munch Madness. This is our first post Munch Madness episode. This one that we'll release in the main feed.
This is wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky you didn't take part of that bullshit, honestly.
It sucks and it's bad. But congrats to the winner, Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, congrats.
I would have loved to eat in Jersey Mike's. That would have been great.
Yeah, we fucked you over bad.
This is way worse than Jersey Mike's. Fucking shit.
Jersey Mike's also eliminated in the first round, so it would have to. There is Fat Chance Kitchen.
Yeah, actually, we don't. We're at the point in the tournament we don't know if there's a way to get back in, but maybe there will be.
I'm going to Arkansas this weekend.
How fun is that? You ever been there before?
No, I've been.
You have been to Arkansas. That's nice.
It's Bill Clinton.
Yeah, no, I got it. I was just trying to keep riffing with you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been there. I grew up there.
Do you ever get up to any mischief down there? Because you have a
certainly.
reputation.
I gave Little Rock to what's his name?
To who?
Roger?
To Roger Clinton, your brother?
Maybe Roger?
No, not Roger. Who's the guy who's
The judge?
the Lolita Express?
Oh, Epstein?
I gave Little Rock to Epstein.
Oh, you shouldn't gift the
I
capital of the state to
it was
notorious pedophile.
He was interested because it's the Rock is little. He liked that little underage rock. He was interested.
Hey, Mitch, speaking of little, and a very different kind of little.
This is a great segue.
Little.
What a great segue.
We went up to Little Canada, and we had a lovely time up there. And
yes.
as part of our visit for Little Canada, we got littleized. And it just so happens, Emma, did these come today, yesterday?
These came last week to my house. They required a signature to be received, so I shipped them to myself.
Got it. So these just came very recently since our last record. These are Little Weiger, Little Mitch, and Little Emma. I guess we could unbox these on the podcast.
Yeah, give me a box.
Okay, here you go.
I hope I get me.
Yeah.
So you and Weiger are together, and then I'm a solo character.
Okay, here we go.
There's a little care card in here. How to care for your little me.
Handle with care. Your little me is very fragile.
I got little Emma. Wow, it's great.
They're so cute.
Oh, you got Weiger
the
and Mitch.
Doughboys as one unit. There we go.
Oh, we're one unit.
That's pretty good, Mitch. That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. I love the fact that you're wearing your Five Forks hat, Mitch, and you can see the forks on your little hat.
Wow.
There's Emma right there. I feel like you should hand Emma to Emma. There you go.
She can sit back here.
Look at this, Wags.
We have new things for the tableau.
I mean, this is great.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
They're very neat. The detail is very cool.
Yeah, that's what it is. I was like, oh, it has the print on our shorts.
Yeah. Like the logo
right,
on your sleeve on your hoodie, Weiger, is completely there.
I told you my mom would be mad at what I was wearing. She hates when I wear those camouflage shorts. She'll be unhappy when she sees this, but I like it.
Michael, don't get littleized in those shorts.
Stop deflating Tom Brady's dick. I think those look great.
Those are awesome. Wow.
Thank you, Little Canada.
Thank you, Little Canada.
And we'll be placed somewhere in Little Canada.
Somewhere in Little Canada. But again, just to shout it out, we talked about this in Toronto. But if you're up in Toronto, if you're visiting or if you live there, you haven't checked out Little Canada, it's a unique, wonderful spot. You know what, Mitch?
Mitch or Wally to holler.
That's what I was gonna say. They're not
I
really
would
to
love
scale
to
with
have, if my
giant Wally and Irma next to us. Look at that.
I could ride Wally around, I feel like, if that was the case.
They're like Battle Cat right there with that size. They're like laser tigers from Dune.
That rules.
Also, how cool would it be if you could get little eyes with Wally and Irma sitting on your shoulder or something?
I would fucking love it. I could get an ornament for my mom and sister. They would like that. That's great.
Hog actual size.
God damn it. Emma, hit him with a drop.
All right, here comes the drop.
I'm Tiger now.
A tiger spells danger.
I'm Tiger now.
What?
I'm Tiger now.
My tiger kung fu is better than yours. Admit it.
I'm Tiger now.
Wow.
I'm Tiger now.
Oh, I gotta read that. I gotta read the email. Wags, here it is. Spoonman has Soundgarden. Now Tiger has his own ring entrance music, best played before beating up wimpy Doughboys fans such as myself, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. Sounds like you want to get your ass
sounds like
kicked.
Ben wants to get his ass kicked.
Hope the Doughboys don't come to my town and beat me up. All right, Ben, calm down.
I guess what I was saying Well, when Bill Clinton was saying Little Rock,
Yes, right, yeah.
he was kind of saying it like Plymouth Rock, like there is an actual rock there, and I realized there's not really
It's the name of the
there's
city.
no Little Rock in Little Rock.
Is there a Little Rock in Little Rock? I actually don't
Great
know. Maybe
question.
there is.
I don't know.
Drops at birdfuck.com. Mitch, very excited to have our guest.
What an honor.
With us in studio in town in LA, as I mentioned earlier, from Columbus, Ohio. He hosts the podcast Guys, a podcast about guys. Murder Bryan, a.k.a. Bryan Quinby. Bryan, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Bryan, we've had you. You've been a great friend of the Doughboys for a long time. We got you back in the street fight era. We got you back in Mitch's apartment. We were talking about that. This was a pre-Emma age. We were talking about juggalos and
Fago,
and we were talking about Fago, yeah. And but we haven't gotten you in studio for a main feed episode yet. We're glad that this worked out. Last time we were supposed to do it for IHOP, and then Mitch, I think we both got COVID. I think that's what it was.
We were supposed to do Oakberry.
We're supposed to do Oakberry. We ended up doing IHOP. That's what it was.
At home. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I got COVID first, and then I gave you COVID.
Yes, that's what it was. Nice. Yeah. How long are you in LA for? A few days?
Just 4 days, 3 days really, but 4 days.
How was it what do you get up to when you're out here? Because what we ate today is a very LA chain. Like we and we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. But I feel like it's like kind of like an outsider's view of what people eat in LA. But like you were saying earlier before we were recording that LA is also like a great burger town, a great donut town. There's a lot of great working class food out here.
I love burgers and donuts.
Yeah.
It's like my two favorite. I get made fun of because I think somebody asked me what my favorite foods were, and I said burgers and pizza, and they told me I sound like a 4-year-old, I guess. But yeah, there's burgers and donuts here, and that's what I also always go to Erewhon and get a smoothie.
That's a very LA thing.
You know what? I mean, burgers and donuts, both very LA things.
Yeah,
and
it's
true. You're hitting all the LA famous things. I mean, also Homer's favorite donuts and burgers are probably.
I'm a lot like Homer. Actually, I am definitely, I eat like him, for sure.
You know what? I'm a lot like Homer.
That part when he said hell and they're feeding him the donuts, that sounds like the best thing to me. Just really good.
Well, yeah, also, I guess like would your stomach expand, I guess he doesn't seem to mind.
It's a cartoon world, a cartoon reality.
Oh, right. Yes, shit.
So
I'm sorry.
I think it does not follow
I'm sorry.
Our rules of physical reality.
Thank you, Weiger. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But he loves it. He loves this stuff.
Wait, hold on. Oh shit, the whole thing's a cartoon, right? Not just that segment.
It's all of it. It's all animated.
There is a segment that's not a cartoon, right? Like on one of the Treehouse of Horrors.
They did do a live action opening once, and then they did a 3D animated one.
What's the live action opening? Oh, right. Yeah.
There was.
Wasn't that made online, and then they just wasn't it like a British thing that they just used or something?
Oh, is that what happened?
I thought that's what it was.
One of the things I really love, it's disturbing, but I love it when people make the cartoon, like Beavis and Butt. Have you ever seen the real life?
And they put like
Beavis
the real flesh textures on them.
Yeah, they look disgusting.
Yeah, I know, but they're very funny though.
Yeah.
Like I show them to people and they like, ugh, that's disgusting. I like to show people gross things.
Oh, we know.
Well, you're on the right show.
Wrestler penises. I am very known as a guy that shares wrestler penises.
Oh man.
There's like a whole subsection of porno where they take wrestlers and they like Photoshop them naked.
Yeah.
So like I have a Big Show one that is crazy looking. But if you just search any wrestler and nude, there's a naked picture of them.
We talked about, was it the Lego one where they show?
I have a Lego. Yeah. I got a naked Lego guy at my house. He's like this big. He's got a little tiny hog. He's actually got replacement hogs in case it breaks. I already had to order new penises because they break. They're very brittle. They're 3D printed.
Right.
Like I have them. I have a Lego city in my office that has a naked Lego old man standing on the roof of the police station of the city.
Wasn't there also like a Lego Reddit or something it was just people?
Oh, naked Legos.
Naked Legos.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's mostly, there's more women on there than you would expect. I only post the guys. But there's like so many more women on there where it's like they put like a Lego on their titties.
Right.
Because they usually just build build the thing and then lay their hog on top of it. It's not like artistically done. You know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of times a guy will just post himself naked with the Lego box.
I'm doing a little Rizzler. I kind of like the sound of this.
Don't
Rizzler would probably like it for the Legos, I'm
Yeah.
sure, and I would like it
Is
for
Rizzler into Legos?
Probably.
That's a cool thing to be into.
My guess is Rizzler is into Legos.
So you're saying people get naked online with miniatures?
Are those shirts real or is that carved? Like, is it?
This is, you can feel it. I don't know how brittle
I thought
it is,
it was
but yeah.
fabric.
No, it's not
That's
fabric.
Beautiful.
No, it's really well done. Yeah, all those online, but I also feel like a lot of times those posts are just like, aren't they people just trying to sell something? Like, isn't that part of it too? Or
Yeah, I think that like a lot of Reddit, because I find a lot of that stuff now just naturally working. Like when I'm prepping shows, you can generally you'll find a naked community. Like I just did referees, and there was like I found like naked referees, and like just there's newness.
Earl Hebner and shit. Like what are they showing?
I just but it's like in a referee shirt. You know what I mean?
So like framing out your face, you're wearing the referee shirt, and you just got your like fucking dick out.
Yeah. I mean, they're all like every kind of guy likes to be naked. That's
guess
one
so.
thing I've definitely learned. Every type of guy has a naked guy that hangs around and has their own subreddit.
Right.
Like if you search something on Reddit, because I use it a lot for the show. If you search something, there's also adult NSFW.
Yes.
Categories, and everything you search there, and I click them first before I start actually getting the work done. I click those to see how it goes there.
Let's say, speaking of guys, you did Pizza Guys with our good friend Eva Anderson, and like what did you find about? Because I want to talk about pizza in general, but like any takeaways from the unique pathology of Pizza Guys that you can recall?
I am just like, I am one is
Yes.
what I ended up finding out, because it's just like if somebody's like, oh, there's this dough that takes 3 days to ferment. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. So I learned how to do that. Then they said pizza steel is the thing. So I bought a big pizza steel, and now I do that. I think the weird thing the thing that we found on that episode that was very funny is like I searched for the best pizza in the world, and it's in Italy, wherever, not Napoli or whatever. And I found.
Do you buy it? I don't buy it. I think American pizza is better than
I'm sure it is. I mean, because you've had
Sure,
that.
I bet I'd like it more. Yeah.
You would like it more there?
No, I'd like American pizza more, just because
Yeah,
it's like
it's
closer to what I know.
But we found like bad reviews on those restaurants, and they're like bad reviews are like one of our favorite things.
Yes.
Because they're generally not for the food or anything like that. And I think all the funny pizza stuff was around like people trying to use their uni, the pizza oven, and just posting the worst looking pizzas you've ever seen. Like the thing falls apart, because my wife told me she would let me buy, if I agreed to move, she would let me buy an uni. And I was like, I didn't even ask for one of those. But you trying to convince me that we have to move because I don't want to move?
Yeah.
But I got a pizza steel, and I have a pizza slide, and I order pepperoni from like this company in Ohio that does it. It's called Ezzo Pepperoni Company. I get that. I have Detroit style brick cheese.
Wow.
That's like I paid $45 for these things of cheese so I can learn how to make a Detroit style pizza. I have like the special pans and stuff. So it's really hard sometimes for me to find the weird thing about a guy when I'm like kind of that guy.
You are the guy.
Yes, yeah.
That becomes difficult. So it was definitely like a lot of just guys fucking up and then fighting over who has the best pizza,
Sometimes I'll do a pizza steal. Yoink.
Mitch, you're something of a pizza guy yourself, Mr. Slice over here.
Yeah, I haven't made them in a while.
Your bar pizza was quite tasty.
You liked
I really
it.
enjoyed it. Yeah,
you ate it at Palmerston. Is
That's
where
right.
you ate it. Wow, that's a while back. There's pans from Lloyd's. Was that the place that there's like specific bar pizza pans?
Oh, with the holes?
No. This is like very specific New England style. I'll send if you ever want to try to make a bar pizza. It is like it's kind of, you know what I mean, like it's not like Detroit style at all, but the edges, the crust of the pizza is what is that called when the cheese is burned? Laced.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah, the laced edges and Detroit style does that too. So there's like some similarities there, I guess, in a small way.
I think there's also something of like it is a pretty hyper regional type of pizza that is kind of like Detroit style pizza. Obviously had a moment. Pizza Hut had a Detroit style pizza. It's become a national thing, but it wasn't for a long time. I feel like bar pizza, like New England style bar pizza, is gonna have that moment when it kind of becomes like, oh wait, there's a place in LA that does it now.
There already kind of is.
Yeah, so maybe that's the next thing.
It's close. Tavern style. I mean, like it is funny. It's just like you'll never. It is. I've had Detroit pizza here that I'm like, oh, that's close. And then I have not had bar pizza here that I'm like, that is bar pizza.
Right. The best I've had here is yours. Gotta be honest.
Hey, I do Jets Pizza. Do you guys have Jets Pizza here?
We had Jets in Detroit. We don't have it out here.
Very weirdly, really into that.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm like kind of a snob when it because I haven't had Pizza Hut or like Domino's or any of that stuff. But like there's a Jets Pizza in the convention center by the house that is like really close. Like I go there to walk.
Yes, but is this actual like it's a convention center version of it, or is it an actual?
It's the real thing.
It's
Yeah,
a real
they
thing.
deliver
Oh, wow.
from there too and everything.
Oh,
so
that's
like
nice.
I walk up and down the steps there and other stuff that sometimes I do in there.
Yeah.
But I sometimes crap at the convention center when
Sure.
I've been traveling.
Right.
Are you a Buddy or Jets guy?
I think I like Jets. I don't like Buddies. I had Buddies like a couple years ago and I didn't like it.
Hey,
It was kind of and
when you're a Jet all the way.
Yeah.
From your first cheesy slice to your
Last cheesy slice.
that's a good one.
the fuck.
I got a Buddy's frozen pizza, and it was the pizza that broke me and said I'll never eat frozen pizza again because there's some kind of a preservative they put in frozen pizza.
Okay.
It's this weird taste that is in all of them that I just am like, I can't eat this anymore. I think it makes me sick.
Yeah, frozen pizzas. I don't know. Did you do frozen pizzas ever?
I sometimes do a frozen pizza, but they're not. There's a couple that are.
It's always a compromise.
Here's the thing. I was gonna say about Italian pizza because it's always like the best Italian pizza is like Neapolitan style, right?
Yeah,
It's like and I like Neapolitan style, but it's not my favorite type of pizza.
Right.
That's why I like a New Haven or like a New York style pizza, or I mean Regina, as you know, I love, but like those big New York style slices I'm gonna like more than even the best Neapolitan, I feel like. But frozen pizza that I have had that is good is I think it's called Table 8.
Yeah.
And
It ends up costing $25.
It's $25. You might as well order pizza.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, like
yeah.
you might as well order a pizza. But I guess to have in your house at any time, that Table 8 one is decent. But all of them kind of like even the best ones almost taste like it kind of like it's a little bit of nothing taste.
There's a
going
weird
on.
chemical. I don't know what it is. It's got to be something in there that when I eat it, it makes me nauseous now. And it's all of them. Like I said, I bought the Buddies, which is a really expensive one, and it's like a specific one. I ate it and it made me sick.
Yeah.
And then I haven't had like a Red Baron. I used to do those Red Barons. They're like mini deep dish.
Oh, I remember
pizzas.
those. Yeah.
When I was
kind of like cupcakes.
When I was growing up in high school, they had those mini deep dish pizzas. and
Oh,
they
yeah.
called
Those-
them,
Who did those?
Red Baron.
Red Baron.
Red Baron does
Those were,
them.
they were good, right?
Yeah, they were called Little Charlies when I was growing up, and you would get those at school, and I would get those and nacho cheese and dip them in nacho, because we used to dip everything in nacho cheese when I was in school. They had like this really good nacho cheese, so I would dip those in there. That's the other
That
thing
sounds
about
fucking good.
Ohio
Yeah.
that is weird is that we have the chili cheese burrito at Taco Bell.
Right.
And I get it all the time. And like every time I leave the state, I'm like, I'm going to get a chili cheese burrito and they don't have them. And I'm like, that is crazy. But like what happened was they sold them at our school when we were growing up. For some reason, the school cut a deal with Pizza Hut and Taco Bell, but they didn't sell anything from Taco Bell except for the chili cheese, the Chilito. at
So
the
you
time.
y'all got indoctrinated with the Chilito. Y'all got hooked, and now it's become like a region locked Taco Bell special.
Yeah, I mean, there is a map.
Indoctrinated.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I feel like I would never eat a chili cheese burrito if I hadn't. had
Wow.
it when I was growing, it's disgusting.
It is disgusting. I guess you're right.
It's
I mean, I would like
disgusting.
it too. I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah, it tastes good, but when I think about it now, I can't think too much about it because I think about like they have to make it for this like one specific place. Like, is it just some kind of bag of chili and cheese sitting in a Taco Bell warehouse that they're like, we need more in Ohio. We need to send some to Ohio now. And nowhere else. There's a map. Apparently, you can search. There's a map. There might be a place here that sells them, but on the map, it's like the middle of the country. That little area, the Midwest, has all of them, and then you don't see them anywhere else.
Wow, I gotta see this Cholito map.
There was a lot of school lunches that I liked, but which turns out that most of it is just like prison food, right? Isn't it prison food basically?
Yeah, I mean, my remembrance of the actual cafeteria food in my elementary school, middle school is pretty grim.
It's like Cisco, right?
Yeah, it's all like the same handful of national suppliers, and they're just getting like, you know, the cheapest shit that the whatever the school district can afford, which isn't much.
So for prisoners, when you're older, you're like, school lunch for kids sucks, basically, yes. Right?
But the thing I remember from my middle school and then later high school is they did have similar sort of things. Like you get McDonald's cheeseburgers at my high school, but just sold from like a guy. Yeah. And I used to get pizza all the time for lunch. I'd get 2 pizzas and 2 chocolate milks as a fat 12-year-old, and I have that every fucking day for lunch. And then I'd be like, why does my stomach hurt in gym class? Like I never made the connection.
God, but 2 pizzas and 2 slices of pizza and 2 chocolate milks.
And you're
a fucking little stinky little fuck.
As a dairy dude. And all of us like in our age bracket, Bill Clinton had not taken out all the like sugar loaded drinks that were in vending machines. So we just had soda machines with like full like Mountain Dews.
We did too.
I kept them in there. I kept them in there for you, Wags.
It was weird where I grew up. You were a dork if you packed your lunch. So like I didn't pack my lunch. I ate in the cafeteria every day. And my daughter, when she was in school, you never ate the school lunch food because it was like, it's gross.
It's gross.
You know what I mean? So they packed actually, my daughter very luckily was allowed to leave for lunch and go get like whatever was in Wendy's or
oh wow,
Dairy
yeah,
Queen
we could not leave. We could not leave the premises. But hey, I'd get locked up for one of those chicken patties again. Maybe I'll fucking
the Mexican pizza. I don't know if you had the Mexican pizza. They were like an octagon thing.
Oh no,
and they had like yellow cheese on them and like probably ground beef, some kind of meat.
You're saying? Do you say at your school cafeteria or Taco Bell?
Yes, in my school cafeteria.
We'd have a version of that.
It was like they called it Mexican pizza. Probably because we're from Ohio and so far away from Mexico, everything seems Mexican. But but I think they're called tostadas.
Yeah, it's like a tostada. That's we'd have a version of that. Here's the chili cheese locator. This is from Living Moss is the site, the chili cheese burrito locator. So yeah, it is very much concentrated in the Midwest and the South. But there is, if you go, you know, it basically stops at the Rocky Mountains.
Yeah,
is basically like you have to be east of the Rockies.
It's basically a map of who voted for Trump. It's like, it's like the red map of when people are showing like the majority and they show that it's like all red and you're like, no one lives in like it's like part of the mountains.
Yeah. They're like Montana's all red. It's like there's 200 people there.
I want to ask you about, because we're talking about pizza, and Ohio. I want to ask you about Columbus style pizza specifically, which is its own thing.
Yeah, it's thin crust, like very thin, like cracker crust, and then the cup and char pepperonis. And it's got like a spicier flavor. It's easy to, if you look at a picture of it, like it's very good. I think Chicago takes credit for it sometimes, but it's not the same. I've had it in Chicago, and it's a totally different thing. It's weird, like when I first, because I didn't do a lot of traveling until I started going on tour. When I first started going on tour, I expected that kind of pizza when I went to a place and was very surprised that people actually hate pizza cut in squares for some reason. Because there's also another, it gets confused with this other Ohio style pizza, which is DiCarlo style. Yes, that's it.
It's a round pizza, but it's tavern cut. It's cut into squares, and it's very.
Is it cut into squares, or is it just cut into sticks like that?
It's cut into squares usually.
Okay. This guy fucked up.
Yeah, he's stupid. But but there's also DiCarlo's, which is some I think a more rural part of Ohio where they bake the pizza and then they put the cheese on after. I've never had that.
Here's an article. What is Columbus style pizza? And here's the lowdown and why it tops them all.
It does
Wow.
top them all to me, but
Really?
not to you. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I want to try. I've never tried Columbus style pizza.
What it reminds
Didn't
me
we
of.
go? Didn't we go to?
No, we
No,
did
you
not
went
go
to
to Columbus.
Cleveland.
We went to
We went to
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Different.
We
Like
went to
it's just that
Cleveland.
it's weirdly like it's not in Cincinnati. It's not in Cleveland. It's weirdly just constant because there's a pizza place called Donato's that is kind of almost a national chain now.
Okay.
And they like kind of pioneered it. And then now there's all of these guys that ripped them off, like all the rumors are like, we have these weird rumors about it where a guy worked for Donato's and then he was like, I'm going to make it myself. And then he opened up a place and that happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that is how it happened. But Donato sucks now. I mean, I don't get that thinking you're getting it. That's a different thing. Like McDonald's bought them, then sold them, and everything changed. So you got to go there. I always feel like it would sell well anywhere, though. I think people would like it. It's a little bit spicier.
Oh, that's nice.
We got to try it. But where did we try Fago? It was when we were in
brought
Detroit.
it.
Yeah, we
we-
had
no,
Fago here, and then
was
Brian
on the
brought some,
road.
but then we also got some in
I love
Detroit.
Fago.
Yeah, we
You brought a bunch here, didn't you?
Yes.
That was
I did.
great.
Yeah. I love it. I'm a big ICP fan growing up. So
They seem like good guys, we've said.
Yeah. Chris said, who do you want to get on the show? And I only put two people. One was Violent J. He's like, what kind of guest would you like? And I was like, Violent J.
Is there a reason why Violent J over
Shaggy?
Dude,
Because Violent J is more verbose. Like, he wrote the book and all that stuff. I was such a crazy fan of. There's a period of my life where the only concerts I went to were ICP concerts, and it was like 10 a year or whatever.
Wow.
They'd come to Ohio a lot.
You've been to the Gathering of the Juggalos, right?
I did go to it one year. I would do it again. Really,
we want to do a live Doughboys. At the
they have a
Gathering of
comedy
Juggalos.
tent.
You don't want to do that. I don't think you want to stand on stage there is all I'm saying. They fire bottle rockets at the people on stage the whole time. Like, it never stops. Like, I was watching Kid and Play, and I was like, it's Kid and Play. They're like fucking 55-year-old guys, and they're up there dancing and stuff, and they're dancing and avoiding the bottle rockets.
I mean, that sounds pretty funny.
Yeah,
it
is funny, but it's not. And we also saw Vanilla Ice, and he didn't play Ice Ice Baby.
Oh, man.
Wow.
He played like nothing from like the one album that everybody knew. I was a fan of the hardcore rap album that he did and the metal album that he made. I actually ended up liking those at the time. I probably wouldn't listen to them now. But he was up there.
That's My Boy. I like Vanilla Ice is pretty fun, and That's My Boy. Do you ever see that one?
Wait, That's My Boy. Oh, that's Stamberg one. I never saw it.
Oh, it's great. I like That's My Boy. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
He did I should find this. He did a home improvement show. Do you remember that? He had like he's like
Violent J?
No, I Vanilla Ice.
Oh, Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla
Okay.
Ice did a home
he did. Yes, no, I
improvement
remember. This was a reality show.
Yeah, that was pretty
right,
wild. But
yeah.
they were shooting bottle rockets at him up there, and they like him.
Right.
And they like ICP, and they're shooting bottle rockets at ICP. And then, like, if it's a non-ICP act.
If they don't like us, which they won't, basically.
No. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Well, you don't
I don't
think
think
get
you
that there. In 1941, Dave Thomas had a vision.
Just as soon as you
Nailed with
start.
a fucking whiskey bottle.
Yeah, I can't imagine a podcast I know that they have comedians, but I don't even think, I think they just, like a lot of the acts, they just pay to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they go up and do their thing for like 5 minutes and then they're done. They
You think
just
they'll
want to be
like
able
me
to
talking
announce
about deflating Tom Brady's dick
it.
on
They might
stage?
like
I think they
that.
would like that.
That would
You think I would be
really.
a hit with the
They'd have
juggalo?
I think they'd
wrestling
love
there.
I knew that. Yeah,
You have wrestling there. Like I didn't get to see it because I left before the nighttime. Like I am very like, I went to Woodstock 99
Wow.
Yes.
and I left the day before the riots and stuff because it was too uncomfortable. I hated it. I was
Yeah.
sleeping in like a bad tent in the middle of a parking lot.
Were you when you saw that the riots started at that age? Where you're like, I wish I had
It's a
been.
bummer. Yeah, I've been in a few riots though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ozfest 97 in Columbus, Ozzy didn't show up. And I didn't care because
Yeah.
I wasn't even like an Ozzy fan.
Right.
But like He didn't show up. We even got something a little cooler. It was like all the acts from earlier in the day played Black Sabbath songs. It was like
That's
a
cool.
novel thing, but everybody was like, fuck this. Ozzy can't just show up. And it started kicking the fence down and burning stuff and flipping cars and stuff.
Jesus.
And it was like, I was even like crazy. I was like, oh, if Ozzy can't show up to his own, and I didn't even care like at all, but I just wanted to ride it.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I mean? I was so excited about it.
Wags showed up late to a Seattle show once.
That's right.
And I guess for us, I mean, there wasn't much rioting. I think people were like, where's Weiger? You know, like there wasn't that was kind of quietly
very
said from
different
the
fandom.
audience. Yeah. But I've never been a part of a riot. I feel like I would be uncomfortable. I was in Ithaca when the Red Sox won. And then my friends went into town and they saw how crazy it was and they left basically.
Yeah, I mean, it can be fun, like when you're young and you don't give a shit. But like the political riots, those are bad. Like the police throw flashbangs at you. Like at the Ozfest one, they just flew a helicopter over and said, hey guys, stop that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not that. They said like, please disperse. And I actually saw the police grab a guy and handcuff him to a tree. There was like one of those saplings and just fucking leave.
Oh,
and like,
man.
we'll come back and get him because he was throwing bottles at cars. Like he was sitting in front of the police, just throwing bottles at cars because I think when it happens, people are like, I'll never get arrested. But some people get arrested.
But hey.
Yeah.
He got some chicken patty fucking lunch when he went to the Slammer, Wags. It's worth it.
I want to ask you about a place, something I heard you mention on YKS, which is you were getting a lot of soft pretzels in Columbus. Is that a thing you're still doing?
I'm trying not to, but now that I'm here,
Yeah.
The Wetzel's pretzels, I love those.
Oh, wow.
Like, I love them.
They don't have the Wetzel
I
out
like
there?
Wetzel.
No. We do Auntie Anne's every time we go to the mall.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I like Auntie Anne's too.
they're so fucking good. Like, they're like probably the best. But there was a place in the city that just does soft pretzels, and it was in like this market that's right by my house. So every single day I was stopping and getting 2 soft pretzels and a Diet Coke and just eating them. And then it was like, oh, that's not healthy.
2 soft pretzels a day. That's
all right. Relax, Mr. 2 chocolate milks and 2 slices. Who are you to judge?
I'm not judging. I'm just saying, but yeah, that's a lot of soft pretzels.
I've broken in a lot of insane habits.
Yes.
Like the caramello habit. I was eating 6 king-size caramellos a night.
Oh my God.
Like in the middle of the night, I would wake up and go down to my kitchen and just scarf down 3 or 4 and then go back to bed and then wake up a little later and eat 2 more. It was like I'm spending like almost $20 on candy every
I feel
day.
like if that was written into, you know how they sleepwalk in Step Brothers? If someone was like, how about eat 6 caramellos? I'd be like, that's too crazy.
Maybe like 3 caramellos.
Yeah, maybe 3 caramellos. 3 king-size caramellos.
I haven't bought one in so long because I know what'll happen. Like it's like I'm an alcoholic.
for sure.
in a way. Like if I had 1 caramello, I was like, oh, I'd love 5 more of those.
Do you remember when Caramello was new? Well, I mean, I don't know if it was new, if it was just the new commercial campaign. You remember Stretch It Out?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
I
I feel like Caramello's always been around, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was a new candy at some point, but I do remember that jingle. I do remember that campaign.
Oh, I love them. Oh God, they're so good. It's crazy how good they are. And then I quit because Mike and Jesse and Chris made fun of me for it. And I was like, I got to do better. You know what I mean? And then I just got really into Reese's Outrageouses. So I'd eat 6 of those a night. And it was like, it's the 6 that's the problem. It's the 6 candy bars, not the flavor of candy bar. I like candy bars a lot. Like, I like candy bars and I like soda. I like pop a lot. And it feels like everybody hates it now. Like people are, I
love soda, but I don't. I drink I do like a Coke Zero every day, and it sucks.
I'm trying to get off of the zero sodas this month. I've had one so far, but I'm trying to like wean myself off.
What are you doing? Just water?
Yeah, I'm just doing water, sparkling water.
Fucking
I'm doing 0 sugar cherry 7-Up right now. That's like my favorite drink.
That's good. And I have you had the Shirley Temple?
I did not like that one.
Oh,
it's
I
weird
like that
because
one.
I am known as a guy because I know it's got pomegranate in it. And I spent $75 on 2 pomegranates once on accident. 2 rotten pomegranates came to my house, and I was like, this sucks. Because I got really into pomegranate. I get like obsessive over stuff, and I got really into pomegranates. Couldn't find them anywhere in Ohio, so I ordered them from this place. and they shipped them to me, and they were both rotten. And I looked at how much it was, and it was $75.
That
I was like,
sucks.
yeah, it sucked. I felt like a real fucking stupid ass.
I was reading what you were describing about like if you had one, you'd go right back into it. I'm reading this book on dopamine right now, and it's talking about that phenomenon. Like we bind ourselves. I forget exactly what the term was, but it's something binding. Like we create some sort of structure where it's like we're forbidding ourselves from having something that gives us pleasure. And then if enough time passes and then we go back to it, even though our bodies have learned to manage without it, if you go back to it, immediately your brain reverts to where it was previously.
Yeah.
So it's why like when an alcoholic who'd be sober for years falls off the wagon, they're immediately just like fucking completely getting plastered all the time, right? Like, and it's just like I guess it's just a part of our brain chemistry. But it's one of those things you read is like, well, it's nice to know that's the reality, but it's also really discouraging for breaking bad habits. It's just like so my option is lifelong abstinence because otherwise I'm gonna go back into
Not a problem.
It's weird. I find it very strange. I think like I never thought about how weird it is to be an adult that has a candy bar habit.
Sure.
I don't eat candy bars anymore, but I still love a Reese's. It's just as you get older, it's just so, and I mean, soda is that's the thing that I love a Coca-Cola, and I haven't eaten them since I've been doing that stupid drug that I've been doing.
Yeah,
I barfed yesterday. I barfed in the fucking shower.
That's my favorite. That's my second favorite bodily function.
Barfing?
What's number one?
Nutting.
Nutting is number. Yeah, of course. Nutting is number. Okay. Yeah, sure.
You had to ask. You think nutting was after
I don't know
fucking throwing up?
I don't know if we're considering that in part among the options.
Yeah, it is.
Man, are there people that like the feeling of throwing up more than nutting?
No, not that. Not more than that. But I love throwing up.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite. Throwing up and then like people give me shit because crapping was my last one, but I said it's better if it's diarrhea because it's like
sure,
you're
right,
fucking in and out with that, you know.
Sometimes having diarrhea does feel good.
Yeah, barfing and diarrheaing are the two most cleansing things you can do.
I don't love barfing. I find barfing pretty unpleasant. But go on.
I was like. I barfed yesterday. I barfed in the shower. I would look. I
in the shower. I've never done that.
It was.
Your drain was like, "What's this?"
Pushing it through with your feet.
This is new. It usually gets a different substance.
Yeah,
down there.
come.
But I was nerve-wracked. I had some there was a work thing.
You had a big work thing.
Yeah, a big work thing.
Did you feel relieved after at least?
I woke up nauseous, and I've never been worried about work stuff like this before and ever. Like I've never gotten sick from it. And and that's even
we could just say what it is. We were having koalak on Doughboys.
Yeah, I was so nervous.
That's big.
I was so nervous I just like didn't want to see him. So I was like, I brushed my tongue and then I was like, oh, it's over. I'm gonna barf.
Yeah, it sucks.
And I threw up and then I got down to my knees and then I really threw up. And
when you were done, it was like
when I was done, I did feel. I mean, it sucked so much because I was just on all fours barfing.
That's the problem. Like I feel like I do get the post puke clarity. I get what you're talking about. Like I just feel better, but the actual process of vomiting I find so physically unpleasant. And I also and Mitch, I want to hear you give closure on this your anecdote, but like I also like always get dry heaves.
I mean, yes, that was the issue. I was like, bleh, and I sorry, I shouldn't even do that for listeners. And then I was
that was the gentlest drive I've ever heard.
But I was like, that's like because I don't throw up is the other. I like when I throw up, I'm dying. Like I'm dying. I remember. Well, I shouldn't tell bad story. The last time I threw up before this was after staying up all night with Jack Allison, and we were watching The Wolf of Wall Street, and we were very fucked up.
Yeah,
and Jack said he went to bed just hearing me in all over the toilet being like, blah, blah, and then just throwing up. And he was like, I should probably check on Mitch. And he never did. But
this is when you lived together?
This is when we lived together.
So that was like, what, 10 years ago?
That was I think that's the last time I threw. I can't remember a time that I threw up. Maybe I probably have said it on the podcast, so they'll know more than I do.
Some guy will be like,
you threw up like 4 weeks ago. This was the first time I remember throwing up in a while. And I got down on all fours and I
weird
barfed
you're
up
doing that.
onions and beans.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And it was in the drain. The onions and beans were in the fucking they were just sitting in the drain. And I remember just on all fours barfing up onions and beans. And then also my dick was just shrinking into my body.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I could just feel my dick just being like, whoop, like going into my
You're
body.
naked with water running over you. You're just
Yes.
fucking
You
puking
gotta
directly in the
clean
drain.
it.
It's
It sucks.
awful.
It
It
That's
was a deflate. It was basically like
Yeah.
a deflate thing. A deflate gate.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't like cleaning up barf.
No,
That-
no one wants to clean up barf.
No,
I
that sucks
I
too.
certainly
It
don't like
was-
cleaning up diarrhea. That's not fun either.
it's like
Come
you
on,
usually
clean up
don't have to do
diarrhea.
that.
Well, it depends on what's going on.
You spend enough time around children or the Doughboys, you will have to clean up diarrhea.
I don't mind puke because of having a kid. I don't want poop. Like I remember
Yeah,
being like,
puke is gnarly though, isn't it?
it's gross.
Yeah, poop is poop.
Poop is the worst.
Yeah.
Human poop is the worst.
Human
stuff
shit is
out there.
disgusting.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
just
like it. I
terrible.
don't care for the stuff.
I remember when my daughter got old enough that it was an adult, not an adult size, but real poop.
Yeah.
And it was like, you gotta fucking learn how to use the toilet at this point. Like,
Right.
this is fucking crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that would fucking.
They get to an age
Ugh.
where you just look at them like, nope, you can't do this anymore. Like, it's one crap and you're like, no more. That's
Yeah.
real stuff.
Picking
man.
up a log with like paper, like with, that would suck.
Do you
We used to have to clean it up in the backyard for the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
My friend's mom was like, we're going to go see Boys in the Hood when I was like 12 years old. And I was like, oh, I got to go. My parents were like, you got to clean the dog shit out of the backyard. My brother had to mow the grass. So I'm out there cleaning up the dog shit. I look over at him and he takes the lawnmower and he lifts it up and drops it on the stump of a tree and breaks it on purpose so he doesn't have to finish. And they let him go. And I was
Wow.
like, damn, I wish I could have broke something or something.
Yeah,
to
with
get
your
out of the
task, you couldn't have
crap.
done it.
Yeah.
what is your let's go
Did you get to go or no?
I did get to
right,
go.
hell yeah.
We got to go. They might, I think they were always going to let us go, but they're like, maybe we're going to get the lawn mowed out of this. But
Yeah, sure.
it is funny to break the lawnmower, like because
It is also how you said you were 12 years old. It is it's an intense movie for a.
Not only is it intense, but I took the wrong. I was like, I got to get in a gang. Like immediately after that movie, I saw it and I was like, let's start a gang. I talked about it on
Yes.
Guys a lot. Is like, I was like, let's start a gang. I have all these gang ideas that we can do. And then like in 9th grade, this dude that I went to school with was like, I'm starting a gang. And he started jumping people into his gang. And he was like, you want to get jumped into my gang? And I was like, let's see how long it lasts for. Like, I didn't want to get
Right.
beat up. I was like, let's just see how long this gang lasts. Maybe I'll get in later if it's still around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to be in a gang really bad. Like,
The Irish Mafia was in, but not there were. I didn't know any gang. I didn't know if I knew any. There was
like
but,
Bloods or Crips.
yeah, there was nothing like that.
I knew
in
people
Quincy,
that
at
claimed
least.
it.
Yeah,
Like where I grew up, there were guys that were like, I'm a Blood or I'm a Crip. And it's like, you're in Ohio. You're in like Groveport, Ohio. I don't think you are, but they functionally would beat you up.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Of
So it
course.
wasn't much of a difference.
Yeah. What's the difference? You're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah. So
I had to clean out my drain afterwards, and it was bad.
That's awful.
Yeah, it was bad.
What is the rest of your bodily fluids rankings?
I think it was
Because nutting is
Nutting.
first, puking,
barfing, and then I think I said farting, and
farting third.
yeah, I don't really I hate fart. I did fart guys on.
Yeah, I
the
know.
podcast.
Yeah.
I hate farting.
Yeah.
Like I think it's the worst. But
Although I found the fart guys kind of wholesome.
weirdly, the guy that I found, the fartologist,
Yes.
like that guy is really funny to me.
Yeah.
Like he farts
Because he's not like a horny guy, really.
Not even. It's
It's
not.
just
a
he thinks it's
fetish
funny.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I have these great, crazy farts, and I want to share them with the world. I'm serious that he said that. There's a video of him like answering questions, and he's like, "Why do you do?" And he was like, "Oh, I had these really funny farts, and I was sending them to my friends on text, and asked me to stop doing it, so I had to share it with somebody." So now he does these things. He does these videos where he's like, he goes and eats Indian food and films himself eating it.
Yeah.
Then he checks into a really nice hotel and he just lays in bed and farts and records it. And he's got like a little meter to see how loud the farts are.
I laugh at it, but like, how different is it from what we do?
It's the same. It's the same thing.
thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, but it's like, it's very strange to
Yeah.
be that.
Yeah.
Like I found that like I found that it's very strange. Like, I found the guys that were like, these farts are great. You know what I mean?
That's more perplexing to me is people that like to watch it or
but there's like an aspect of it because obviously, like, yes, everything is fetishized and people can sexualize anything. There are people who are jacking off to this, but there are also people who are just like, haha, that's funny. What a great sounding fart, who are just appreciating it for aesthetic reasons.
R/Farts has a no fetish rule.
Wow.
Which, as Chris, my co-host, pointed out, that you can't really stop them.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Fetishists from being, the way we did the episode was like, the first part of it was all those guys. And then because of the fetish guys existing, we did the last 15 minutes on that. And that was really strange stuff.
Yeah.
Like that stuff, like guys just like putting their head up against their girlfriend's ass and having her fart in their face.
Jesus.
Is crazy to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guys that love it, I found a guy on Reddit on r/farts that gets up every day and farts, like, and films it. And then people started saying, like, your farts are too nasty. Stop doing it.
it was too gross for r/farts.
Yeah. And he was like, to the jabronis who told me to stop filming my farts, here's a big one. And he's like so defiant, and I love him. He's a white guy with dreadlocks. He's very defiant, and he just loves to fart.
He just won Best Actor.
Do you so farting is third, fourth?
I think it was farting it was on X, the everything website.
Got it.
I don't remember. I knew it was crapping was last because I hate crapping.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
pissing after
pissing.
farting.
I love pissing.
You do like pissing. Some of you above farting.
So it would have been nutting, barfing, pissing, farting, crapping, and then if it's diarrhea, crapping goes up 2 spots.
Got it.
I got a lot of grief for it too. Like, it was crazy.
Well, some people really like to take a big crap.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so gross. It's the worst. Like,
I would rather, throwing up is so hard.
Throwing
for me.
up is really unpleasant.
It's really unpleasant.
I'd rather take a crap than puke.
It doesn't
because
smell
puking
as
means
bad.
something
Well,
is wrong.
yeah, you do every day.
Yeah, so but
I
that's what
would
I'm saying.
switch. I would trade that.
Oh my God.
I would. If I could get rid of crapping and just barf all the time, that's what I would do. I would make that deal with the devil.
Wow.
It's like
or
a
whatever, whoever would do it.
Garbage Pail Kid universe where you're just fucking barfing every day.
Yeah, I would love it.
Jesus.
I don't like crap smells so bad. It's the worst stuff.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
It's
a-
all
it's
look.
unpleasant.
It is all. Also, I like that you pointed out X is the everything website. I look at Reddit probably too much now.
Yeah, probably.
They
I
post-
don't look at it at all. Somebody was like, hey, I was on r/murder Bryan. And I was like, don't go on there. And
Yeah.
don't tell me anything about I don't want to know what's going on there.
I started because I'll just give myself a barricade now. So I just have fucking block site on my browser, and I just block Reddit, so I just don't look at it. Yeah, that's a site that I could find myself looking at and then just like, why am I doing this? Like, 'cause I'm not even posting. I'm just lurking. I'm just reading like psychos like writing insane shit that's making mad. I'm just like, there's no reason for me to be doing this.
Yeah.
If I want to occasionally check like the NBA subreddit or something and just see like, hey, I want to just look for some highlights, I'll toggle off block site for like 5 minutes. But like other than that, I'm just like, I'll just stay away from it. That's my easiest way to manage it.
I don't look at any guy's stuff at all.
Yeah, that's
Like,
smart.
I don't
look
go
at
to
any
the
of the Doughboys
Discord. I go to the Discord rarely. I go
Yeah.
in there and I'm like, I'll talk to them, but no, I don't want to know what people think. People say that the Murder Bryan subreddit is actually really nice.
I'm sure they're very nice to you there.
And I'm
You got a lot
like,
of fans.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm like, okay, that's good. They're mean to Chris though, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to
that's
see
no
him mean
good.
to my co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They posted the Quincy Corys on the Reddit. You never want me to tell you what's going on the Reddit.
Yeah, I
anyways.
just don't need to
No,
look at
you
that.
don't want to
Yeah,
know.
you don't wanna
You
know.
can't
You're
know.
right.
I don't know how you're looking at that.
I'm a sick man. I'm
It makes
sick.
me nervous. It makes me nervous. Like, and I start finding myself arguing.
Yeah,
like, with the people in my head.
I go in and I'll leave comments sometimes, which is even worse.
That
Which is really bad.
Yeah.
It never is. It's not. If you're upset, it's not worth doing. But I do it sometimes.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Hey, buddy, therapy can feel like a big investment, but the state of your mind is just as important as your physical health. You need strong body, strong brain. Let's talk numbers. Traditional in-person therapy can cost anywhere from $100 to $250 per session, which adds up fast. But with BetterHelp Online Therapy, you can save on average up to 50% per session. With BetterHelp, you pay a flat fee for weekly sessions, saving you big on cost and time. Therapy should feel accessible, not like a luxury. With online therapy, you get quality care at a price that makes sense and can help you with anything from anxiety to everyday stress. Your mental health is worth it, and now it's within reach. Me, I benefited from therapy myself. I found it transformative for my mental health. It's helped me deal with anxiety, depression, and insomnia, and it's helped a lot of people that I'm friends with and that I love dearly. And it's also helpful for learning positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. And it isn't just for those who have experienced major trauma. With over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform, having served over 5 million people globally. Wow. It's convenient too. You can join a session with a click of a button, helping you fit therapy into your busy life. Plus, switch therapists at any time. Your well-being is worth it. Visit BetterHelp.com/Doughboys today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Doughboys.
Speaking of shit and vomit and diarrhea, we should get to this restaurant.
That's right. Cafe Gratitude, Mitch. So people in LA, and myself included, for a long time thought of this as being like, oh, this is like some obnoxious LA place. But it actually started in the Bay Area, which also makes sense.
Yeah.
This was founded by Matthew and Terces Engelhart in 2004, founded up in the Bay. And it is run with their sons who are stepbrothers. They each have their own son, and then they later married. It is a vegan chain that serves dishes named for affirmation. So if people aren't familiar with this chain, every menu item has a name like I am strong, I am humble, I am valued. And for a while, I think they're less stringent about this now, but they like wanted you to actually say the thing when you ordered it, which is a big part of why this place is so annoying. It has had a lot of controversy over the years. I'll just name a couple. I'll just read a few of the things. But the owners forced their employees, and by the way, they call their employees advocates, and they consider that like they say you're advocates who practice sacred commerce. That's what your job is.
Oh.
But they forced their advocates, their employees, to pay out of their own pockets to take classes from Landmark. Landmark is a new religious movement, aka cult, that's also a multi-level marketing scheme.
But are they required to take the
They were
classes?
required to take it, yeah. They like the employees had to pay for half of the classes, and the company paid for the rest, but they had to do it. The Engleharts also are it's a loudly vegan chain. Like it's like overtly vegan. Like we're plant-based. We don't have any fake meats. We don't have any meats. We don't have any fake meats even. But it came out later that the founders moved to Idaho. They raise cattle who they they produce and sell cheese from, and they also kill and eat them. So they're just like eating meat and dairy on their farm that they paid
had
for.
some in the food.
Yeah, I know. And then the chain swelled to like a dozen locations in the 2010s. It was like a huge celebrity thing. I feel like in the early I feel like Jake Gyllenhaal would go there in like 2012 or whatever. You know, it was like that kind of spot. It's kind of faded. It's not as cool anymore. It's kind of been taken. Its spot has been taken by places like Erewhon. So it now just has 2 left. There's 2 in LA, and we went to one of them. And Brian, one thing I know about you from listening to guys is that you like expensive things. This place is super expensive,
But it's not the good kind.
it's not the good kind of expensive. No, it's not like Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I ate at Italy the last time I was here for some reason.
It would have been. We should have gone back.
Italy would have been way better than this place.
Italy's very okay. They got good pizza, I think. I remember.
So I hadn't been to this place in years. I was not excited to go back, but I think it was Amelia, this was your pitch. I think this was a good idea to go to this place because I think it's a kind of place that we should cover. But it's every aspect of it I find so obnoxious.
Yeah, I've never been before. I never had.
You've never been before? Okay.
No.
We have one of these places in Ohio called Town Hall. There's this like restaurant group of this guy that does, no hormones, no antibiotics, and all that stuff. I think they have meat there. They do have meat there, but they're like, the guy is unambiguously evil.
Yeah.
And it sounds like as soon as I saw the menu for this place, I was like, the guys that run this are
100%
extremely evil.
No, 100%. It's that kind of thing of like you read more about this couple, and it's not like they have like this like moral center that like is like we care so much about plant-based food that we want this to make this our lives. It's instead that they saw an opportunity in the market where they're like, you know what, there's a spot for a high-end vegan place in LA. We can really bilk all these people with a bunch of disposable income, all these what they used to call limousine liberals by selling this food. And it was a business plan, and these
I hate
people are
this
like,
place so much.
they're like
now.
hippies, but they're like the hippies who grew up into Republicans. It's like once their
They're
financial need situation became more comfortable, all of their ethics just went out the window. Yeah, it's RFK thing, same fucking thing.
You get a tax bill. I think that's like
Right.
I remember the first like self-employed tax bill I got, and I was like, I think I'm a Republican. Get all mad about it. What are they doing with my money?
I mean, I didn't know that the owners were such, seems like pieces of shit.
Yes.
They're not even vegan, the owners?
No, they're
That's
not.
very funny. That I like.
Why the fuck are you making us eat vegan?
Well, this is the other thing. It's like you look into this couple, and it's like they were, before they launched the restaurant, they were like, we're gonna have a board game. And so it's just like, oh, so this is just a hustle to you. Like they tried the board game didn't work. They're like, okay, what's our next business? How about a vegan restaurant? And that's what they do.
I like that.
they effectively build the brand. Like they effectively pander to people who have these sort of like whatever, like live in the kind of mindfulness sort of wellness sort of space.
Is there information on the board game at all?
I don't know if you can find the board game.
Be interested to see how crappy it is.
It's probably so. I mean, I wonder if it's anything like. Look, we said this on the text a lot, but I am angry is what you said. You said I am hangry. I said I am pissed because they didn't have the fucking thing I ordered. Which also, anyways, was fucking mung bean or whatever. Who gives a shit? I didn't want it anyway.
What was the thing you ordered? What was it called?
It was the Mediterranean bowl.
But do you remember what it was called? Because it had a stupid name.
Oh,
I am dumb.
It might have been the I am dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't get the I am dumb.
I am thriving.
Maybe it was I am
think
thriving.
It might
have
thriving.
been the I am thriving. They didn't have.
I am mindful.
Oh, the I am mindful.
You
So
are mindful, Mitch.
Thank you.
are
I
mindful.
think of you as a mindful guy.
I did try.
That's very kind of you.
Searching the menu for like Mediterranean to see if they had another Mediterranean bowl for you, and that was the only thing that came up was the Mediterranean mung bean egg thing,
which
is not Mediterranean dish at all. It's just
why does it have mung bean? I
Why-
don't want
yeah,
mung
why call it
bean.
mung?
I don't want mung.
I think it is
Yeah, I
a
don't
mung
want
bean that like functions as eggs in the thing
Yeah.
because they obviously don't have eggs.
It sounds mung is weird.
Mung
I
is
was
gross.
just at the Arnold Classic, which is a big bodybuilding expo.
Yeah.
It's like the biggest in the country.
Is that in Columbus?
It's in Columbus every year.
Yeah.
And I was there, and there was an energy drink called Chike. And I was like, I feel like you shouldn't be saying the name of this protein coffee. It was like everywhere.
Yeah.
That is, I'm afraid to say it, and I
It's
won't.
like a portmanteau of three slurs. It
Yeah.
just like sounds like what? Ugh.
It freaked me out to see. I was like because all the marketing there it's really good. It's like all like mutant. It's got like a big fucking monster on it, and it's like get fucking ripped. I love it.
I love bodybuilders.
The reason I didn't come here Friday
Yeah.
was because I didn't want to leave Columbus during the Arnold Classic because I like to go over there and look at all the big, huge guys and smell their big, huge craps. Because it's like really famous.
Yeah.
It's really famous among the restaurants in the city as the time when you have to keep unclogging the toilets.
Right. Because those guys will go in there, they'll order like 2 pounds of unseasoned ground beef. You know what I mean? Like they're just loading up on protein and fat.
My sister is a chef at a fine dining restaurant that does, and like, usually they make these like really cool dishes. Actually, when I go there, they make me a Western cheeseburger. Like, it's not on the menu. I just go in there and they make me like, they fry up some onion straws and like make me, because I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The onion ring, bacon, barbecue sauce, meat, like cheddar cheese, like that.
Oh, I love that composition of burger.
Yeah.
I grew up, and I don't know if you had Hardee's out there or Carl's Jr., but we had Carl's Jr. out here. I grew up loving the Western Bacon Cheeseburger. Mitch, I know you love that as well.
I very much
It's a
love
great,
it.
great
Can't
burger.
get it. Like a lot of places aren't doing it anymore.
I wonder if
So,
there's like a map like the Toledo map where we can get.
Yeah, I need that.
Yeah.
That would be huge for me.
We gotta do a dranker stank with Chike.
Get some mutant too.
Yeah, we gotta
That's
get
another one of Jocko Fuel.
Mung, which is I know a more natural name. It's a mung.
Mung
bean.
sounds disgusting.
Mung sounds like what I left in the shower drain.
It's like, yeah, poop or something.
Yeah. Mung was the beans and the fucking onions.
By the way, how much better would a Western Bacon Cheeseburger have been than what we ate today?
So-
I just
so
think
I
of it as
would've
like,
been
man, that would
so-
have been so good.
I'd be pretty tired right now. I think. Like, that's the thing about you eat that thing and it's like there's nothing that's good.
No.
Like you're like, well, there's an onion and there's protein in it.
Yeah, yeah.
like- but yeah, she makes me that. But she said guys would come in and order like 4 steaks. And then one of the guys was like, he ordered 4 steaks, he ate 3 of them, and he said, hey, can you hold this back in the kitchen? I'll be back later to eat the 4th steak.
So we went to the bathroom. Is that-
I don't know where the guy went. I think he left and went back over to the body. It's crazy because there's just people sitting. It's not like a fitness city. It's
Sure.
Columbus, Ohio isn't like where the most fit people are. So you just see these guys, these massive guys just like shoveling food into their face all day. It's just it's such a weird, like every year I go there and I look for huge guys and different weird, they do sports. So they had this like, it's called mass wrestling. And it was like, they had this little rubber thing and they like sit on the floor and they basically tug of war with it.
Okay.
And I fucking loved watching it. And then they also have very weirdly a foosball championship. So there's professional foosball players there. And I always go over and check out the professional foosball.
But these guys
This
aren't
sounds
jacked.
like every.
No, not jacked at all.
Yeah.
Really. It's actually feels, it has a definite like pro wrestling vibe in that there's a DJ playing the loudest classic rock you've ever heard in your entire life.
Yeah.
And like guys that are just dressed in different weird, like one guy had like an American flag shirt and then American flag overalls and an American flag hat. And he was like a big deal in the foosball world.
Wow.
Every detail of this sounds weirder than anything I've ever experienced. There, like we went to the Scientology brunch,
That's true.
and that was one of the weirdest things we ever did.
That was really strange.
And I guess Comet Ping Pong was kind of strange, but this every
Yeah.
part of it seems fucking bizarre.
Gabrus said he's coming next year because he's always wanted to go to
Yeah.
it.
Gabriel should just compete in it. I'm sure he could.
It's such a big, it's hard to emphasize how much of a big deal it is. Like people come from all over the world to this. This is like the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. So you just see people walking around in this town where like, I live like 3 or 4 blocks from the convention center and there's just people walking up and down the street. There's these massive guys, like
Right.
wrestlers are there. There's always like a lot of wrestlers. My sister fed Ryback and The Big Show.
Wow.
And Triple H once. They ate together. They ate a lot of food. Apparently, they ate a ton of steak.
They were there for
They were there
that
for the
event.
fitness
Okay.
expo. Yeah.
I don't know.
Gronk
It was like a
was there
Republican
this
convention
year.
too. Oh, Gronk. Oh, wow. All right. He
Gronk
could also
has
be there.
some sort of a fuel, not gas, but as in like some protein. One of those fucking caffeine. Like
it would
it's
be
just-
funny if you hit a new gasoline.
That
Like-
would, hey.
They're like, Gronk gas is like great for the environment.
Makes your car go 1 mile an hour fast.
Well, speaking of the second dish I ordered did not fit me. It was I Am Strong.
Yes, you got the I am trusting. Let me just so the
mindful I didn't get.
I am mindful you did not
Lost
get.
my mind.
Mitch, you trusted us at making the decision for you to have the I am trusting, which was Amelia's suggestion. This is an Okinawan.
Not really. I didn't really trust you. I just had no option.
Well,
It
you
was
weren't responding, so we were just like
Yeah.
that one seemed closest to what you
And
wanted.
you know what? I am trusting. I said that sounds just as bad as everything else.
It was an how dare you say that about the Okinawan purple potato longevity hash, which is what the I am trusting is in practice. The I am strong is blueberry protein pancakes, and the I am plentiful was your juice. That was cranberry, pomegranate, grape, carrot, apple, and ginger. I'm trying to do the math of this real quick. your 3 menu items,
Like $60.
yeah, were $60.
Nice.
The total price today was a plane flight. You could
It was
fly
north
somewhere.
of $300. Yeah, for our
North of $300 for a place that
Including
sucks.
tip, but yeah.
including dip, yeah.
A horrible place.
Yeah.
Really, I would say.
So
My food, I had a weird whole thing going on.
So Brian, you got an I Am Clean, which is a medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie.
I like the word medical. I do like that they put medical in the food. I
Well-
like the idea of medical food.
We'll talk about the medical medium in a second because that's a whole thing. And you also got the I Am Lively, which was a Belgian oat waffle plus fresh berries. Now, the way this was packaged was really disorienting, and you actually ate the topping separately before you realized that there was a separate container that also had your waffles in them.
that was
you're supposed
sitting
to put
right
on.
between Weiger and I.
Yeah.
There was something in that container that
Yeah.
was the consistency or flavor of a waffle.
Right, so
was
you're like,
the
oh, is this a
thing.
weird deconstructed waffle that comes in a jar or something? Like, okay, I guess this is what. And it also, like, you see that it costs $16.50. Like, well, I guess from this fucking place, this would
Yeah.
cost $16.
Yeah, I
But
don't-
yeah, there was a separate thing of waffles there. Wait, how were those waffles?
Good.
Ultimately?
The waffles were good.
Yeah.
I got the most cowardly food of everybody. I got one. The smoothie was gross, but they're always gross. Like that's
Yours-
kind of the smoothie thing for
Yeah,
me.
I don't know.
Yours
I
had-
don't know. Smoothies can
I
taste
love
okay.
disgusting smooth. I like when it tastes like dirt and grass, and you're like, that's probably good for me.
That's what I
Oh,
was gonna
man.
say because
This-
yours has grass juice as a barley grass juice is a big part of it,
Oh,
and it was
yeah.
it was at a very green brown sort of look
It
to
looks
it.
like mud. It looked like mud. It looked like someone scooped up lawn.
This one
That's
that,
what I like.
that I'm drinking here is a little bit more of a conventional fruit based smoothie.
Yours was fine. It did
this one's
taste almost
fine.
like nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't have
I
much of a
didn't.
flavor.
I tasted it and I thought it was like water, basically.
I
It's
didn't like
kind of a
my
nerd.
ours was a beet juice and I didn't like it. Emma, did you like it?
Mine's almost gone. Yeah, I
Crazy
liked it. But I
choice.
like beet juice. I don't mind that.
Was there anything
flavor.
else in it? Like,
Yeah,
is there?
I think it's like
Ginger and
pomegranate or
no, it was
cranberry.
pineapple.
Oh,
It was-
pomegranate.
Cranberry,
Cranberry.
pomegranate, grape, carrot, apple, and ginger also in it.
I know a
Yeah.
great place to get pomegranates if you're ever.
Wait, there was no pineapple in it?
No pineapple.
Oh, I fucked up.
That would
Mi-
have been good in there though.
Yeah.
So the
Could've used
waffles, Mitch,
anything.
you had the blueberry protein pancakes. That was the I Am Strong. That also came with a double batch almond ricotta, maple syrup, blueberry compote, and cinnamon. I mean, the thing is, you are getting maple syrup and cinnamon and blueberry compote. Like these
They
are,
were
these are, like,
protein
things that would be
pancakes,
good.
I will say. So they.
What was? Do you know what the protein was?
Oh God,
Come.
That's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid that's what
I
it
think it's
was.
similar to like those, the like Kodiak pancake mix.
Ah.
that's
They just
like,
loaded some powder
it just
into
has
it.
like more protein.
Right.
Higher
Fucking
protein
Gyllenhaal
flour or
nut.
something.
Guy in the back just
Gyllenhaal.
whacking off like all that.
That goes on
Like
top.
15 whacking off guys at the Cafe Gratitude.
Oh, fucking nasty. back to fucking Brady. I did. These were the best things I ate. Well, I don't know. Actually, the I Am Trusting was okay. You took a bite of it.
So the I Am Trusting. I mean, there's so many components in this,
It
but
was just
it's
a
like
big mix of bullshit.
yeah,
so
it had
eating
it
a
had
sweet
yams,
potato
bell
or whatever.
peppers,
Oh, yam.
broccolini, edamame, and this had a spinach pesto. So it had all this kind of all these different components. It just was just like a big mush, and I didn't really like the texture of it, but I thought the flavor was fine.
It was like an adult mush bowl. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like everyone wants like a healthy mush bowl. I guess.
ostensibly
Not
nutrition.
me. I don't eat bowls. I get mad when my wife loves them.
They're just so easy to fucking shovel down your throat and be over with another day of your
Yeah.
Give me some
fucking
bread.
life.
True.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
I like bread. Like if you have good bread, I'll tolerate a bowl. But other than I need bread.
Can I just want to say this.
Yeah.
The Pantry Cafe closed.
LA institution.
LA institution has closed.
As of this recording, it has just closed.
It will probably be bought. And
We'll see if
maybe
it gets bought, if it gets reopened. But it's one of these places. Please finish your thought.
101 years.
Yeah.
It's open. The dispute is over. I know you want to get into it because it's over union stuff and it's ridiculous
Yeah.
why it's closing or whatever. But 101 years, this place is open. It's a great restaurant. The LA fires happened and the Real Inn burned down and Moon
think-
Shadows.
Yeah, Moon Shadows, the beloved karaoke bar where Mel
Mel
Gibson
Gibson was there.
Mel Gibson got arrested for saying "chike" to a cop.
I was just ordering a drink.
I was with Mel that night. I to be fair, I said I was one who said sugar tits, but he asked if I wanted anything on the way home. I said I was saying, like, you know how like sugar and water from Men in Black, the Vincent D'Onofrio thing. I was saying like sugar tits. That's what I was trying to say.
Right. It's defensible.
Gibson is such a good guy. He took the fall from me.
That's nice.
But that place burns down from the LA fires. Pantry Cafe closes. Cafe Gratitude is just fucking fine. Nothing happens to fucking Cafe Gratitude.
I think Cafe Gratitude has, again, as I was saying earlier, they have really contracted. They're down to just 2 locations. I would not be surprised if that was just 1 location in the semi-near future. They are not thriving as they once were. But it is a bummer that a place like the Pantry Cafe, which is an LA institution that's been around for so long, you'd think that a moment like the LA fires would be like, hey, let's make sure that we preserve this thing. Instead, some fucking asshole company is like, we want to unload this because the employees are union and we can't get them out of their contract. It's fucking horrible. But anyway, it's that sucks. And a meal from the pantry, an absolute delight. Great experience, cash only place. Some of the servers have been there for like 40 years. It's just a fucking awesome spot that used to be open all night.
Bullshit spot.
Yeah.
It carries on.
So I got the I Am Caring. This was to share. This is the loaded nachos, nacho chips, cashew queso fundido, black beans, chai foods chorizo, pico de gallo, avocado, spicy pepitas, cashew crema. I added guacamole. This was $21.
Isn't chai foods chorizo a fake meat?
That's what I thought it was. So they kept saying they don't use fake meat, but I guess they use some.
I think chorizo, like now, I know it means sausage in Spanish, but I think now it's a spice mix. Because my wife is a vegetarian.
Yeah.
And I buy her chorizo spice mix for when she makes food for like soup, and she doesn't eat any fake meat.
Right.
She just eats like vegetables all the time. I don't know how the fuck she does it.
A lot of, I feel like longtime vegetarians, though, they get away from the fake meat because they just they don't crave that specifically.
Yeah, no,
like
she thinks it seems gross.
Yeah,
really.
and I totally get that. I will say that these nachos I ordered because I thought they were going to be awful, and I was like, we should try them because we should try something that's, going to really suck. And the benefit of having low expectations, I thought they were not terrible. They were okay.
They're like the nachos you get at any chain restaurant.
Yes, they were pretty flavorless.
I had to step in. I was getting mad.
Nice.
Everyone was being too nice to this place. It sucked. They sucked. Amelia, you took a bite of the fucking nachos. They sucked. They were bad, right?
Yeah, I think they were uninspired.
Uninspired, yeah. I mean, but uninspired is different from inedible, which is what I was expecting.
Yes.
So I guess that's what
the guacamole that we added, that we paid extra for.
The guacamole went a long way.
It did a lot of work on those nachos.
Yes, just having some natural avocado on there.
I'll say that about the avocado. It fucking souped. It sogged the shit out. Those tacos those nachos were just sog city.
Look, would I ever get these again? Not for content, absolutely not. But in this context, I was like, again, this is not the worst thing I've ever eaten for the podcast. I got the I Am Enthusiastic, which I had higher expectations for because this is fundamentally a buffalo chicken sandwich, but with mushrooms, chicken fried mushrooms instead, on a brioche bun. This was $20. I don't know. I thought this was...
It didn't taste like buffalo chicken.
It didn't taste like buffalo chicken at all.
I didn't get any
sort of heat from it.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a heat seeker. I wanted to have some spice from this. I had some expectations like, hey, if you slather this in buffalo sauce and a fake vegan ranch, that maybe this thing will actually have some flavor. Maybe you'll get a little bit something from those pickles that
Frank's
are on there.
Red Hot sauce all over, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
it would have been nice.
Hot sauce
it needed anything, and instead it was just sort of like a just sort of a starch pile. I thought it was a pretty.
I just realized I'm so
sandwich.
pissed off from this fucking restaurant. I've been pissed off all day, and it's this fucking stupid restaurant pissed me off.
The other thing I got is the I Am Precious, which is the smoothie I'm still working on. This is an antioxidant smoothie. This one is part of the Medical Medium menu, which is produced in partnership with Anthony William. Now, Brian, you also got the Medical Medium Heavy Metal Detox smoothie. That's another one that's partnered with this guy. Again, speaks to like this place and kind of the inherent evil behind it. Let me read about Anthony William. Medical Medium Anthony William is the #1 New York Times bestselling author and chronic illness expert whose advanced healing information has reframed the natural health movement. Now, Anthony William has no scientific or medical training. He is not a doctor. He's basically one of those guys who's like celery juice will cure all of your body's ailments. And then if you look through his website, there's an extremely long testimonial section that's all quotes praising him from just our dumbest celebrities. Like every fucking moron, fucking Sylvester Stallone is on there. Deborah Messing is on there. It's everyone you would expect is endorsing this guy. He has a podcast that's of course way bigger than any of ours. Here's a recent episode of Anthony Williams' podcast entitled Los Angeles Fires, Toxic Fallout and Spiritual War. The notes for this episode. Discover why God didn't stop this tragedy and whose plan this all was.
What a bastard.
Learn about how our faith can fall into question and how miracles occur every minute of every day. Discover how the spiritual war above and around us impacts our lives here on planet Earth and how many times angels have intervened without us realizing it.
What?
This is arguably worse than going to Chick-fil-A.
That's what I was going to say. This is worse than fucking Chick-fil-A. People got mad at us for Chick-fil-A. This is worse.
This is so bad.
I can't imagine where the money's going.
Exactly, yes.
Just it's hard to even because RFK got a lot of this money.
For sure. No,
Yeah.
the money from this menu, which is, this weird conspiracy theorist, this quack is like having this partnership with this chain. He's probably getting a bunch of money from it. And yeah, he's sending it straight to the fucking RFK. I mean,
it's as bad as Chick-fil-A, to be clear. Sorry. But I mean, it just sounds very bad.
I'm taking this idea home and making vaccine smooth. This is the vaccine smoothing. The cancer vaccine.
This is the kind of guy, who's like, stop taking SSRIs, start drinking celery juice. Like, he's that kind of guy. And, whatever, he has like a whole section of the menu. Anyway.
Celery juice tastes like shit, though.
So bad.
SSRIs taste good. I chewed one time. I had a total panic attack.
Wait, really?
I was at a concert. My wife's brother's in a band, and I went to watch them. And I brought my medicine that I take at night with me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I threw my medicine in my mouth, and then I took a drink and had ice in the drink, and I bit, and it was straight up just SSRI. And then I convinced myself I was going insane and made her leave her brother's concert.
Oh, man.
But it ended up being okay. But it really, it tastes, because I used to love pills. So I would eat the pills all the time.
Were you chew on the pills?
Oh, yeah. I love chewing pills. When I was
that because you would ingest it quicker? What happened? Okay, got it.
Well, I don't snort drugs.
Yeah.
I'm weird. I'm weird about not wanting to snort things.
Oh, smart.
Makes sense.
So I would chew them, and then I convinced myself I like the flavor of it.
I'm surprised that you're not down with snorting just as a man who loves throwing up. I figured that you would be okay with snorting.
I only did it once when I was in high school. Somebody brought Coke over to the house, and I was like, "I'm fucking try it."
But you've done some huffing. But huffing is distinct from snorting.
That was a long time ago.
Okay, got it.
Yes, it was when I huffed a lot of gas. Not a lot of gas growing up, but there was huffing going on. Quite frequent. We'd grab a gas can, and we would go to a cemetery in the middle of nowhere, and each of us would huff like 10 and then go running into a cornfield and tackle each other. That was like a regular thing that we would do. I'm glad because what ended up happening, I've told this on guys, is my brother was huffing butane in a car with two of his friends.
Yeah.
He was sitting in a car in front of the apartment with two of his friends, and one of them went to light a cigarette, and a fireball just went back through the whole car.
Jeez.
And the ceiling stuff was dripping onto them. They got really bad burns. They had to go to the emergency room.
Yeah, Jesus.
And the only one that told their parents my brother was like, I was out here huffing gas, and somebody lit a cigarette. The other ones came up with reasons. One of them was like, I was mowing a friend's lawn, and I was smoking a cigarette. And it's that's not. First of all, it happened 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember what the other one was, but they both lied and said this is how it happened, even though the car was sitting. So yeah. I got out of huffing right around that time. Was
that's a good enough. That's a good enough time to do it.
Out of that stuff where you can get real drugs. As it becomes easier to get weed, I always think that now that it's so easy to get weed, there's no real point in doing all the other stuff that was just kind of I'm 16, I I can't buy anything.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I heard you can, the
You drank. That's where you drank
Cookbook.
Robitussin at that.
Yes.
Robotripping. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
we did a lot of that. We did the robo-tripping. Like, I knew this guy that was like, he would just robo-trip and he would come over and say, go ahead and punch me. I don't care. And like people would do it and he would just kind of stand there and take the punch.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and like, yeah, we got the Anarchist Cookbook. I think if you're like one of those bad kids that got a hold of the Anarchist Cookbook, then you tried a lot of weird fucking stuff.
Yeah.
There was also just like a certain age, I feel like everyone at the dais, over the producer's desk is too young for the Anarchist Cookbook, but there was a time when it's just like, oh wait, this text document, this plain text document you would find on like a BBS would be this thing that would circulate at your school. Some kid would print it out and like everyone would be looking at it. And it was just like, oh, this is how to do every bad kid thing.
Yeah, they had it at the library, but only one copy. And it was at the main library. So to drive downtown to get it. And we would go up there and like run off, like how to smoke banana peels, which is none of it is real. You know what I mean?
So much of it's fake.
Because they dry out these banana peels and smoke them. It'll get you fucked up. So we would do that, and it wouldn't do anything. But then you would sit around and go, I think I feel fucked up. You know what I mean?
Would you be down to review gas with us on Doughboys?
I would do some gas. Yeah. We used to make napalm with it too, right? You would get styrofoam and you pour gasoline on it and it would like jelly it up.
Jesus.
I remember a friend trying to make this.
Yeah, we made it a few times. That actually worked.
Oh, that works.
That burned some hands. Yeah, I actually hung out with this guy that had gunpowder because he'd go hunting with his dad. And he went in his house, he came out, he was like, check out all this gunpowder I have. And we were like, that's cool. What are we going to do with it? He was like, check this out. And he poured it in like a pile like this big.
Yeah.
And there was a porta potty close by and he grabbed some toilet paper to use as a fuse and it just got his hand. Like his hand was fucking nuts. Because toilet paper takes like 2 seconds to light up.
Of course.
Fire.
Yeah.
He just lit it and it just got it. It was crazy. We
Did
burned
his hand
ourselves
explode
up.
or just burn the shit out of it?
It was melting. Like,
oh my God.
it was very gross looking. I never forgot how gross that looked.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Yeah. We used to hurt ourselves. We were very into the...
Don't do any of this stuff at home.
Please
for sure.
don't. Yeah. Very into it when I was a teenager. I hung out with a lot of bad kids. We were bad. So
I remember Robitussin. I remember drinking Robitussin. I went upstairs and my dad was watching Thin Red Line and just being like, I can't like handle watching this right now. And I was with my other friend and his dad came and my dad was watching him walk out and he just walked like 3 feet and fell over onto my lawn. And then, I used to air gun. I would take little spurts of air gun for a while.
Oh yeah, not whippets. It was air duster. Yeah.
Whippets too. That's like the worst stuff. If you're a listener and you're thinking about trying, don't ever do any of the aerosol
whippets.
stuff. It's so bad.
I hate whippets.
What was it you did at the Power Hour? Were you doing whippets?
I did do whippets.
There was a moment. There was a whippets moment a few years ago. Not too long.
They came
ago.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so all that shit's so bad for your brain. It just is like destroying your brain.
Yeah.
What I'll say is this quack fake doctor, anti-vax fucking dipshits smoothie was the least horrible, I think, of the things that I ate. Like, I thought it was like, this is drinkable. I'm sipping on it here. It's like, yeah, it's banana, dates, orange juice, cherries, wild blueberry powder. That's a pretty straightforward thing you would get at like a Quench or a Robex or any of these juice places. It's like a fine execution of it. You are both correct that it does not really have much flavor, but it's drinkable.
It would probably be like $10 cheaper too.
It would be cheaper, or at Erewhon would be more expensive. But
much better though.
But it would be better at Erewhon. The nachos I thought were whatever, but they certainly weren't good. And the buffalo chicken sandwich I thought was a huge disappointment. I thought all 3 of my menu items were pretty like two forks at best.
You weirdly didn't like the pancakes, which seems like
I didn't love the
they
pancakes.
were the most normal things there. I ate them. I was like, these are pancakes.
The pancakes were
that they had
maple
syrup like helped it, but I didn't like that fake ricotta, like that nut. I don't really like the nut cheeses.
I hate it.
And I just don't feel like any of them work. The only fake cheese I feel like works well is like the fake American cheese you'll get on like a Monty's burger, like a vegan burger. Like some of those I feel like work.
I haven't never had fake cheese because it weirds me out.
So many of the cheese sauces, like what they put on the nachos, I thought absolutely did not work. And the thing that they were trying to approximate a ricotta texture and flavor, and it just absolutely did not work for me. Even though I don't mind fake milks, but
I eat oat milk. I have oat milk all the time.
this is an oat milk latte I'm sipping on right now. I'm fine with fake milks. It's just the fake cheeses. I feel like it's I don't know. None of those work for me.
It's weird. I said this before, but we should kind of probably be weirded out by real cheese more than like
actual
cashews.
Actual cheese is insane. It's
Yeah,
an insane thing to eat.
It's gross, but I
like it.
I like it
love
too.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I like it too.
So do the owners of Cafe Gratitude. Everyone likes real cheese.
Eating a real good cheeseburger at their house.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now. While you're eating, I am thankful. It's so unfair.
Anything else to say about this change? Is there any food we missed? What did the deists think? Anyone have any hits or misses over there?
I mean, I got I am resourceful salad, and it was a delicious salad. I don't know if I'm not gonna like go back and find it again. But if someone was like, "We're doing this for lunch," I'd probably get another salad. But that's pretty much it.
That's probably the thing to order from there if you end up in whatever. This is a pretty unique use case, but like if you're in LA and your office is doing an order from Cafe
I said
Gratitude,
I'd be so mad at the fucking person who says Cafe Gratitude for lunch. I'd be so mad at you.
But I think if you got like what was the salad you got, Emma?
I am resourceful.
Yeah, if you got like the I am resourceful salad, it's a butternut squash and kale salad with a balsamic Dijon dressing. That's probably gonna be fine.
I am torn because I'm like a vegan. Look, vegan. There's people who are vegans who are in rooms and they need to eat too or whatever. I'm just saying, like, if you're with a group of people, there's just so many vegan places that I think are better.
I just feel like they're better vegan options.
Yeah, go to a place with options rather than force everybody to eat. I mean, like, it's not that hard to dump a bunch of vegetables into a bowl and say, here you go.
Yeah, and this is the thing I always like. There's like great vegan Indian food and vegan Thai food. It's like you can find stuff. You can get pad Thai with tofu, and that's a vegan dish, and that's delicious. Like that's really good if well made. You don't need the fake ass nachos with a bunch of different hyper processed components to approximate, food with meat and dairy in it.
What was that place? The Farms place or something? I went with Sus. It's like
Bristol
in Beverly Hills. Was it No, not
the grocery store.
No, not the grocery store.
Farmer's Daughter.
Farmer's Daughter.
Yeah, Farmer's Daughter, or is it Butcher's Daughter? Butcher's Daughter. That's what it is. Yes.
And I was like, I liked Butcher's Daughter.
Butcher's Daughter is way better. Yeah,
way more than Cafe Gratitude.
Well, and Butcher's Daughter is also the kind of place that's taking the space that Cafe Gratitude once occupied. They're like, hey, we can do a place that's even more. It's a little bit more twee and it's a little bit more upscale, and we're just going to take this market from you. But I think that's a better version of this for sure.
It's less corny. Like
less
the
corny,
menu
for sure.
items are just so corny.
So corny.
It does feel like a guy who's not a vegan being like, this is the kind of shit they like.
Exactly.
You know
That's exactly what it feels
That's
like.
What the vibe of it to me is more of that was like, let's just give them like shit. I'm grateful. They'll love it.
The names also don't, they have nothing to do with what the food actually is. So if you're just reading the names on the menu, I have no idea what I just read. Like I have to go through
That'd be a good menu
all of
item.
the descriptions, but then like, now I'm like, wait, what was the name of that salad I thought I wanted? And it like kind of was it. Reading the menu made me want to just like jump out the window.
That's a great point. They're not like puns on ingredients.
Yeah, I have no clue what the I am resourceful is.
I feel tofu-rific. That's got a tofu base or something. It's like it's nothing like that. There's no connection to it. You just have to remember what the fuck I am enthusiastic means.
I am tofu-rific?
Yeah, I am tofu-rific. You got it.
I was like, did they have that?
Abelia, any thought? Oh, I can't remember what you got.
I got the I am whole,
Yeah.
WHOLE.
Right.
It was.
I would have ordered I am whole. Of course.
I am whole.
It was a very colorful dish, but it was very bland and boring and. Yeah, kind of like baby food for adults.
You know what? That's a good point.
That's a good way to put it.
Everything needs like seasoning, but I think probably part of this place is like, we're not going to have any added sodium or whatever. But like, then you just end up with food that's
put some lemon
missing
on
flavor.
it or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like Sweet Greens does basically what this does.
That's another thing.
and it's
If you want to,
fine.
you can get a vegan meal from Sweet Green. That would be way better than anything you get from Cafe Gratitude and cheaper.
Although I'm kind of worried about Sweet Greens. There's one 2 blocks from my apartment. In Ohio. And it's like they opened one in Ohio, and then the next month their big menu item was ranch, and I was like, oh no, I think we got a hold of the Sweet Greens people.
We should get to our final thoughts on Cafe Gratitude. Brian, you know how this works. Well, just a refresher. We'll each go around. We'll give a closing argument on this chain and give it a score from 0 to 5 forks. You are our guest, seated to my left. we'll begin with you. Your thoughts, your fork score on Cafe Gratitude.
I'm going to I'll give it 2 forks.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
only because I ate waffles and pancakes, and they were good.
Right.
But they were just waffles and pancakes. And I would give it maybe 1.5 because like the stuff in the jar was good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would just buy the jar and eat it. I was very happy with the jar.
The jar did look good. I wish you got to try it on the waffles. I felt bad.
No, it was fine. Yeah, but like I'll say 1.5 because it's not good at all. But I got very inoffensive stuff.
Yeah, I think you were pretty savvy with your order.
I looked at everything else and said, I'll never eat any of this stuff. Like I was like going through because I told you.
Yeah.
I got the email that we were doing Cafe Gratitude, and I was like talking to my wife and daughter, and she was like, "Oh my God," my daughter like knew the place.
Yeah,
and that's like there must be some TikTok thing going on with it because you said it's not really cool anymore.
No,
but how would a 20 like my daughter's 20 and lives in Ohio and was like, "Oh, that's the place with the I am." Happy bowls. It's gross.
I would not be surprised if it's spread online because of its obnoxious menu naming convention. But I think also there's an element of like this place like Squirrel, which is another hyper local LA chain that I feel like has some national awareness.
So much better.
Squirrel's better than this. But
Squirrel had the moldy jam incident, and it still is so much fucking better than.
That mold tasted good.
Give me the Squirrel. Squirrel at least has like edible stuff.
I think because it's so notoriously expensive and also has some scandals associated with it, I think that's partly why it's like there's maybe some awareness outside of the city.
I think a lot of people also like outside of LA like hear about a place like Cafe Gratitude and they're like, that sounds about right.
Exactly.
Because I grew up. I used to say, I don't know why I said this. I grew up in Ohio. I never really left when I was a kid. And I used to be like, I think I'm more like a New York kind of guy. You know, I think the LA, but I don't need that LA bullshit. I just remember saying that when I'd been to neither place. Then when I finally did, I was like, I think I like the LA bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I like LA a lot more than I like New York because weather. But
yeah.
I just remember thinking like, there's this California thing where it's like that menu wouldn't seem so weird. It would seem weird to me. Like everything out here seems like when you've never been here, you don't live here, everything seems like weird and like hippy dippy and you're like, I don't like that shit.
This is like the outsider's perspective on LA. You're right. Like it's like you think of a place like Cafe Gratitude. If they made Die Hard today, Bruce Willis, he comes to LA, is like, what the fuck is this town? He'd like end up at a Cafe Gratitude or something. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like they're like it's a kind of thing of
what's going on in Die Hard? What the fuck is this town? What the fuck? I'm at Cafe Gratitude. What the fuck is this place?
The new Die Hard where the guy just goes to bad restaurants. I hate this shit.
It's like presented as like, hey, symbolic of this culture clash. But like we were saying earlier, like there's a lot of, LA also has a place like Dinah's Fried Chicken or The Pantry or Bledsoe's Barbecue or
Fat
Roscoe's or Fat Burger. Like
I
there are all
love
these places
Fat
that are just like fucking delicious.
Man,
garbage.
all these fucking places we could have gone.
Yeah.
And
I'd go nuts for Fat Burger. I get it every time I come here, and then most of the time I'm like, it wasn't that good, but then I get it. I'm like, I remember liking that.
Fat Burger is
Fat
Burger's pretty fucking good.
Fat Burger is pretty locational dependent. We should revisit Fat Burger because we haven't been since
could have done it
year
today.
one.
We should go now.
Yeah, Fat Burger or In-N-Out. I get In-N-Out every time, but I think it's good.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's as special.
You were saying
it's weird.
You were saying Ohio is not as much of or at least Columbus is not as much of a burger place. There isn't like a local burger place. Obviously, the home of Wendy's.
Wendy's, yeah. There's all the big institution there is called Thurman's, and it is huge. I hate huge burgers. It's like the thick.
Oh yeah,
big,
I'm with you.
Huge burger, and like. I like smash burgers, like basically exclusively. If I go somewhere and they don't have it, I don't get it. There was a place that was like a pop-up called El Royale or something, and it's corny. It was like a Quentin Tarantino thing, and they were doing cheeseburgers, but they were really good. They were like using Wagyu beef and stuff like that, and that was good, but it's gone now. But yeah, Thurman's has like really thick, big burgers, and it's just not that good. It's like eating a fucking meatloaf.
Right.
Which meatloaf is good too. I'm not saying that's
I like
bad,
meatloaf.
but it's like eating a meatloaf between two pieces of bread, and it just isn't. I don't I don't like it. And that's the only place I can really think of. Like, I grew up going to Fuddruckers as like the
Oh,
We
hell
love
yeah.
top highest
yeah,
level.
we
Yeah,
like
I wish they
Fuddruckers a
had
lot.
it here.
Yeah.
I wish they had it at
There was
at
one up
home.
in Burbank, and it's gone now.
Yeah, they closed like 2 LA Fuddruckers like since the pandemic. All right, Mitch, your thoughts.
It's funny you say that because you like Fat Burger, but Fat Burger isn't thick. It's just kind of like a big patty.
It's a big patty.
Yeah, it's not as. I think like it's novel. I think if I lived here, I'd never have it.
I don't eat it
come
too
here
often,
and
but I
see
don't.
it.
I haven't had In-N-Out as long as I've had Fat Burger, probably. Which
Yeah.
I should. I like both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like
I don't
both.
mind In-N-Out. I don't like the fries, but like I think it's pretty good, and I don't need any. If I order a burger ever, I get rid of the special sauce. I like hate special sauce.
Oh wow,
I don't like mayonnaise, and
Yeah.
special sauce is always just something with
it's an
mayonnaise.
aioli basically.
Wait, so
Yeah.
you're saying you don't like eggs, so that extends to mayonnaise, and then that also extends to mayonnaise-based dressings.
Yeah,
Wow,
mayonnaise
okay.
grosses me out. Like I remember, I have like a really weird like nightmare vision of like mayonnaise in a sweaty jar. Like you see, like if you go to a barbecue and they put the mayonnaise on the table for the burgers and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's that sweaty jar. It's just disgusting to me to even. I find mayonnaise to be
Well,
I love this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, everybody,
sweaty jar of mayonnaise is probably way both of these hosts have been described at some point in their lives.
everybody I grew up with loved it. We would go to rallies, which I don't think you guys had.
We
out
we
here.
have we do have
Checkers.
no.
Oh, no, we
do
have
out
rallies.
here.
We have the
The
checkers.
rallies
We
and
don't
checkers
have.
is checkers we don't have.
And when we would order, they would order everybody's at the same time, and it would be Big Buford with just cheese and mayonnaise. And I hated it, but they would always get it for me.
The Big Buford.
Yeah,
That's right.
Big Buford. They had a Western burger, but my friends were like, "It's too hard to order one of those. You know, you got to get everything the same." So I had to like scrape off the mayonnaise all the time of that, and I just found it. And they get Whoppers with. I mean, they just didn't eat vegetables. They didn't want any vegetables on their burger. They just wanted mayonnaise and cheese.
Right.
So it was like all the guys I grew up with. That was like their thing.
Burger King might have been my segue into my segue. My what is it? My you know what I'm saying?
What are you trying to say?
My doorway into
Gateway
drug of like burgers with lettuce.
Yeah.
Because the Whopper for me, I was like, oh, I like the tomatoes and onions on this burger.
Yeah. This show is sponsored by LiquidIV. Hey, buddy, you know, in terms of showing myself some love, I like to indulge in some guilty pleasures, like watching some videos. We don't need to go into what kind. I like to order sparkling water. That's a lot of fun for me. And hey, I'll go get a mani-pedi, because why not? Love looks different for everyone, especially when it comes to all the ways to treat and celebrate yourself. Gift yourself the everyday indulgence of extraordinary hydration from LiquidIV, powered by LIV Hydroscience. Visit liquidiv.com and fall in love with flavors like zesty new Hydration Multiplier sugar-free raspberry lemonade, and use code Doughboys to save 20% off your first order. Hey, there's some great flavors out there like white peach, watermelon, raspberry lemonade, as mentioned, and strawberry lemonade. And hey, you can take them with you for a workout, late at night when you're traveling. It's great for staying hydrated during long days, enjoying the outdoors or sports, or just like, hey, a nice little day of recovery. Break the mold and own your ritual. Just 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Powered by LIV Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free, but not flavor-free. LiquidIV is leading the way in flavor innovation. True-to-fruit flavors that keep you hydrated. Or choose from their line of sugar-free flavors like raspberry lemonade, white peach, and rainbow sherbet. LiquidIV is more than just a drink. It's scientifically formulated to hydrate better than water alone. Treat yourself to extraordinary hydration from LiquidIV. Get 20% off your first order of LiquidIV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Doughboys at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code Doughboys at liquidiv.com.
Look, I am cranky today.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying with this restaurant, that would be how I went into this review. I'm cranky. It's been a long week. I wasn't excited about this restaurant. And you know what? It fucking sucked. It was bad. I wasn't happy after we ate it. We're also doing some Munch Madness stuff right now, and that has been a pain in the ass, but I was like, I'd rather just take bites of that fucking bullshit today than eat like, you know what I mean? Like we've eaten it already so much, but I'd rather eat another fucking cheesy gordita crunch or whatever. Of course I would. This place, it sucks for so many reasons that you've already listed, and I can't. If you're a vegan, I think that you would. There's probably things they have here, and it's an option to go and have it. But for me, it's 1.5 forks. Fuck Cafe Gratitude. Fuck that place. Amelia would have had to. If you went and picked it up, you would have had to sail that bullshit to them. Is that true?
They do.
Ordered online.
Yeah.
I did have it. Yeah, I mean, people just order it online, but I remember
It seems like delivery is like their thing now. They do a lot of that.
Okay.
Right. I do remember when I was working in at Funny or Die, and it was an open floor plan, and one of the producers called in an order and like was just like, yeah, I'll take an I am caring, and like the whole fucking everyone in the office just laughed at him to the point where he had to apologize over the phone to the guy at Cafe Gratitude. So yeah, they do abide by that. I mean, I think that's obnoxious in of itself. Whatever. If there was if still like at its heart, this place was authentic. Like I felt like, you know what? These are well-meaning hippies who are a little bit, a little bit out there. They're a little bit kooky. They're a little bit annoying. But this comes from a place of earnestness. This comes from a place of like we really do believe in plant-based food, and that's our ethos, and we do believe in people, being mindful and having self-esteem, and we want to have that come across in our menu. Like if that was really where this came from, then I'd be like, you know what, I can kind of roll my eyes a little bit, but I'm fine with it, whatever I think of the food. But I don't feel like that's what's at the heart of this concept. I feel like this is a really just calculated thing to try to get a certain demographic and sort of be like, hey, we're on your side, give us your money, and I do feel like the people who are behind this chain are the same sort of aging hippies who have just like, we were talking napalm earlier, just like dropped napalm over the country and then just, retired to their to their estates because they were just like whatever, we don't give a shit. Like we were hippies, we aged into rich Republicans and we got ours and we don't give a shit. That's all this was about. I just don't feel like I don't think there's anything sincere behind this. And again, but you mentioned Chick-fil-A earlier. It's like, I feel like it's the same sort of thing from a different angle, but it's the same sort of like this place, what they're doing seems actively destructive. And it seems like this company has like some, this company has some like, just shitty things in terms of its business practices. And honestly, I'd rather work for Chick-fil-A than work for Cafe Gratitude because it seems like that's a better situation for an employee. I think the food was pretty bad today. It was not as terrible as I thought, but because I overall just don't like this place and I don't like that it exists, and I wish failure upon it, I'm going to go 1 fork. I think this is a 1 fork.
Wow, you're the bottom.
Than us.
Yeah, shit.
I think you both got like an entree that was like actual food is the other thing. Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of like when I was growing up, like cartoons.
Yeah.
You would watch were just made by guys that were like sitting in a room smoking cigarettes and being like, who cares? It's fucking toys.
Yeah.
And like, I think of that, it's the same cynical kind of behavior.
Very cynical. Yes, that's the right word. Yes, for sure.
That now they're like, oh, these fucking vegans, they love mindfulness.
All right.
It sucks. A Broken Plate Club, or is that right?
Yeah, it's in the Broken Plate Club.
Broken Plate Club.
Sub 2 forks all around.
Wow.
Hey, that was our review of Cafe Gratitude. It's time for a segment. I've got some food-related jingles, and Mitch and Bryan must determine which year they came out. It's another edition of Jingle All The Whey, spelled W-H-E-Y.
Wow.
These are compiled, as always, by the Drop King Robert Persinger, who, Mitch, I have a new nickname for. King of the Jingle.
I like it.
He preps Jingle All The Whey, King of the Jingle. King Jing.
King Jing. King Jing is in the Chike area.
I'm going to mail you guys Chike.
Yeah, but you got to mail. You please mail us Chike.
We're sorry for our TikTok where we tried Chike.
We thought but it like worries you because it's also like a fitness brand.
Yes,
You're like,
yeah,
is
yeah,
this a trick? You know?
The rules of Jingle All the Way. The closest guess without going over wins a point. If you guess the year exactly, you get 2 points. That's the Art and Marine rule. If the game ends in a tie, the guest wins. That's the Mitch Kenna rule. If the second guesser can guess a movie from the first guesser's year correctly, they get a point. That's the Murder
fine.
Brian rule, which you can only do once per game. And on top of that, if you can also make the movie guess a food pun that doesn't have to be explained, you get an extra point. That's the Zach Cherry rule. Since our last time playing this game, that also can be done once per game. Kate Berlant holds the record for most points with 9 and is a lone member of the Jingle All the Way Hall of Fame, which I forgot existed. And again, from Columbus, Ohio's own Wendy's. That's the source of today's jingles. Let's play the first one.
So wait, hold on. You guess a movie from the year that it came out?
Yes, you guess the movie from the year. So like I say...
You say the answer and then we guess the movie.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I say...
No, I think you guess the year from the movie from the year the other person guessed.
I guess 2024, and then you can guess Amelia Perez.
Sure.
And then if I want to get an extra point, I can say...
Emil, M-E-A-L.
Perez, yeah,
Emil
exactly. Yeah, so that's both rules in action. Yeah.
Perez, yeah.
Okay, great.
Okay, great.
All right, here comes the first.
Wait, you can do that after that? Or
No, I can't do it.
Okay, all right, whatever. We'll figure this out as we go along.
If you can also make the guess a food pun as you make your guess, you get an extra point.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're guessing on the other person's year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Let's play this first Wendy's jingle.
Wendy's has the taste.
Single, double,
and triple. Hamburgers fresh, not frozen. We have the taste. So let the others have their slogans. Wendy's makes them fresh each day. Serves them up to you hot off the grill.
256 way.
The way a good restaurant will. We have the taste. Wendy's has the taste. Wendy's old-fashioned hamburger taste. We have the taste that Wendy's taste. We have the taste that
God, man, we used to make things in this country. That's so good.
Those burgers looked really
They
good.
looked really fucking
very
good.
un-Wendy's like.
They looked that was good as hell.
All right, who wants to go first? Brian, I'll give you the option to go first or second.
I'll say 1981.
So you go first. You'll say 1981. That's your guess.
If you had said 1982, I would have said Eat Tea. But you said 1981, so I'm not. I should know 1981 movies. But I'm gonna be a real asshole and say 1982.
Mitch, you went in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, you're both over. This 1980 was the year Wendy's has the taste. Yeah.
We were close.
All right, no one gets a point. Next up, your choice.
Wendy's old-fashioned hamburgers. They're cooked to order just for you. Your choice. We'll fix your hamburgers however you say. Your choice. 256 different ways. Choose a single, a quarter pound, double, a half pound, a triple, 3/4 pounds of meat. Your choice. Down at Wendy's, where quality is our recipe.
For audio listeners, that was an animated spot. Definitely, looks, that looks like a transfer from film, so that maybe gives you some sense of when this was made.
Cinema.
I mean, again, Wags, your first comment fits here too. We used to be a country.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna go with
Mitch will get
this
guess
one.
First.
It was the animated burgers, an animated Wendy. There was a lot of cigarette smoking guys who came up with that thing, I'm sure. I'm gonna say 1975.
1975 for the Spoon Man.
Which you can't. I said a big movie year.
I feel bad because I was always planning to say 1974.
Oh, really? That's okay.
But always from the beginning. I thought you were going to say 4, and I was like, damn, I could come up with something new.
1975. But also, if you want to do our movie rule, you can guess a movie.
But you only do that once per game.
You can only do it once per game.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that on 75.
Do you know? There's a big one from 75.
Probably like The Godfather, the Godfather's Pizza, maybe?
I'm not going to push you into it. You should do one that you know.
We'll give you a mulligan on that one, and we will give Mitch 2 points because that was 1975. He got it on the dot.
Ooh.
Jaws was the movie I was thinking from 1975.
Oh, and that's already a food pun. Too.
Yeah. What do you say? What do you say? Big Jaws? What the fuck do you
Yeah,
say?
I think it's Big Jaws. I think that's
Big
the movie.
Jaws?
Big Jaws.
Chewing Jaw? What the fuck? How do you make Jaws a pun?
Jaws Breaker is pretty
Jaws
good.
Breaker.
Jaws
Thank
Breaker.
you. I mean the rule master who knows the answers. All right.
Okay, next up, this is a spot called Your Wendy's Kind of People.
You want something better, yeah, you won't take second best. You want it delicious, for you there's nothing less than Wendy's hot and juicy hamburgers, fresh off the grill. Nothing else will satisfy you like Wendy's will. That's why you're Wendy's kind of people. You want something better, you're Wendy's kind of people.
Wow.
It's amazing that all these jingles are bangers, and we don't even have the hot drinks one on here, which is the all-timer. If we want to look up over there, if we want to see if we can pull up the Wendy's hot drinks jingle for later. But this one apparently features Rita Wilson. I didn't see Rita Wilson in there.
Really?
Y'all spotted her.
Can you zoom through that again? I want to see Rita Wilson here.
You got any Rita in there?
That's not her, no.
Oh, there she is.
There
She's a cheerleader.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow. Look at that.
A young Rita Wilson. Wow.
There you go. All right, Brian,
young Tom
first.
Hanks's eyes were right. Isn't that who? Is it Rita Wilson?
Yeah, it's Tom Hanks. Yeah.
All right.
Was this when they were dating? I wonder.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm gonna say 1983 because Where's the Beef is like a 1984 or 5 area, so I'm gonna say 1983 again.
1983.
I think I already said 83 once, but
1983. Now
it looks 80s to me.
I'm not. This isn't my answer, but would I say, Are
you trying to guess a movie?
Yes.
Okay. Are you trying to come up with a movie pun as you guess it?
I was trying to come
Okay.
with Return of the. I'm not. This is not my answer.
Okay.
But I was trying to think of a pun for Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Bread Eye?
It's Return of the Bread Eye is really good. But I'm wondering, is Return of the Jedi 1984? I don't know. Anyway, I'm just not gonna do it, and I'm gonna say, fuck. Where's the Beef is a great point. But were they just running similar? I'm gonna go a little later. I'm gonna say 1980, based on Rita Wilson.
That's also something to think of.
Yeah, Rita Wilson.
I just kept thinking about that like rich-looking guy in the middle with that gray hair. Just like,
It's definitely 80s. You can tell that people are fucking. Well, people fucked in the 80s.
Yeah,
70s.
they love
People
fucking.
fucked in the 70s.
Yeah.
It's a little cokier, I guess. You can tell the thing. The 80s have taken. The 80s
For
have come
sure.
around.
They invented fucking in 72.
I'm gonna go 1985.
1985 is the guess. You both overshot it. 1982.
I knew it was
The year of my
80s.
birth.
1982.
Jaws.
1982.
Yeah. Okay, next up. No one gets a point there.
E.T.
No one gets a point there. It's still 2-0,
Fuck.
Mitch.
I
Next
just said
up,
1982 is my birth year.
This Is the Good Stuff is the name of this ad.
It's gasoline.
Wendy's new big classic hamburger.
That's my
The soft Kaiser bun, the fat tomatoes, the fresh toppings, the fresh beef.
Oh, they got it in Canada now.
Wendy's new big classic.
One bite, one taste, one look, you'll see. This is the one the other burgers wanna be. This is the good stuff.
Wendy's new big classic.
Can't get enough. This is the good
I'm trying to remember to place the. I know I'm not playing, but I'm trying to place the big classic.
I was a Big Bacon Classic. That
like
was
the Big
my
Bacon Classic, yeah.
sandwich. For
But-
me.
I like the
but
Big
it
Bacon
being-
Classic too.
it
Do
being
they not
the
make the
introduction-
Big Bacon Classic anymore?
No,
no classics.
The classic's gone, but I'm trying to remember the introduction to the big classic.
What the
That's
fuck
thing
is happening?
memory I
I
have,
forget.
yeah.
This just-
Baconator. They put all their eggs in the Baconator basket.
I got nothing against a Baconator, but it's just
Bring back the Big Bacon Classic.
Yeah, they
guys.
should. They
Come
should.
on. I'm pissed off what you
Wendy's,
just did there.
Wendy's has gotten too fancy with their sandwiches, where they're just like we've got our new,
That's fancier than the Baconator.
No. What I mean is they're putting too many components on things. They're like, we got our new ghost pepper, spicy Jack. It's like you're doing stop doing all this fancy shit.
It's fake
Stop
though. It's
trying
like
to,
Pringles. You
yeah,
know
we
what
don't
I mean?
need all
I don't
this.
need it's so fucking.
I don't need your
fake shit.
SpongeBob collab.
Is this me?
Which the creator didn't even want. Yes, you're first this time.
I think this is the first. I think this is the same year Crystal Clear Pepsi came out. It feels so similar. I'm gonna say 1990 exactly.
Mitch says 1990.
I'm gonna say 1992.
1992 is the guess.
It might be a little late.
I thought you meant 1990 also, and I was like, I don't think you.
I wish.
So this one's maybe a little bit hard to crack because for our audio listeners, so much of what we were seeing there was just close-ups of food. So there weren't a lot of necessarily, like super clear indicators of chronology. This one actually came out in 1986. So again, you both overshot it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's way earlier. Than
We're doing really bad.
It's 2-0. You have one more opportunity still. Anyone's game. Yep.
All right.
This is 9 for 99 cents.
New bacon cheeseburger tastes so fine. Wendy's got 9 for 99. I ain't telling you no lies. Biggie drink and biggie fries. Chili chicken nuggets, garden salad to go. Wendy's got 9 for 99. Large frosty baked potato. Wendy's got 9 for 99.
And don't forget the new double cheeseburger.
Introducing a great value from Wendy's. 9 big menu items for 99 cents each. Every day.
Wendy's got 9 for 99.
Biggie sized fries in there, it looked like.
What a 99 cents menu that was.
That little boy doing that deep voice would have been the funniest thing in the world to me when I was a kid.
100%.
Anytime I saw something
so
like
funny.
that.
Yeah. So there's the moment when that bass voice comes in. That is like they had a little boy voicing that. It's great. Who's first this time?
Mitch.
It's Mitch again.
Oh no, is it?
Oh damn.
It is, isn't it?
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, you started, so it would be back to you, Brian.
I'm going to say 19. I'm just gonna say 1992 again. No, that's 1987.
1987 is your guess.
Fuck! First of all, I haven't guessed a movie.
Do you have I have trouble remembering specific years.
87 is
87. I don't fucking know.
1987. I'm gonna say from 1987.
All right, Mitch is, I think, crafting either trying to decide what movie you're going to say and or crafting a food-related pun.
It's a combo of the two.
Okay, I've got IMDb open so I can verify the release year when you're ready.
Man, I don't know. This is hard because I just off the top of my 1987. I'm gonna go with. Did Predator come out that year? 87. Predator.
Oh.
Your guess is Predator. And do you have a year you're going to guess for the movie for the ad itself?
The ad I'm going to guess is. You said 1992?
1987.
Oh, I liked your guess of 1992. I'm going to go 1994.
The rap is just a little too 80s for me, but
Brian gets a point because this came out in 1990. Yeah, I think it's the kind of thing, Brian, where it's like, the rap is very 80s, but like these things always lag behind a little bit by the time ads caught up to it. So Brian gets a point there. Mitch, you do not get a point for the year. But you get 2 points for your pun on Predator, 1987's film that you called Predator.
Predator.
Wow, well done. Mitch wins 4-1. A spirited contest. Can we play this hot drinks one a little bit?
Hot drinks.
This is a Wendy's ad that I love.
Is this an ad?
I'm sorry, this is a training video from 1989.
Drinks. That was like a Sanka.
Those are the hot drinks that you serve so get set. Hot cups come in 2 sizes. Small and large to fill as the need arises. Coffee's holding time is 30 minutes, that's so long. It can stay there before it starts to taste too strong. Hot, hot, careful when you pour.
Steady upon the counter, let it sit. Pour it in until our coffee reaches the line. Pop a top on it, gets a lid every time. Wendy's coffee tastes so fine. Hot drinks really get you going. Warms you up when you feel you're slowing. Wendy's, we always serve it right away. Have a smile and have a nice day. Next is
What a fucking bop.
It's good. It's good as hell.
Good. Thank you for pulling that up, Emma.
That's really
wild.
good.
Also, that like, can you imagine sitting in like your training at Wendy's and they just slap that on? And you're like, all right, coffee.
I worked at McDonald's for a period of time, and I remember their videos being really funny. But they left me in the room by myself, so I just kind of fell asleep. Like I accidentally got hired at McDonald's. It was like my first job. I was being a dick. I was like 16, and I was at lunch, and McDonald's was there, like having people fill out applications at the school. I was like, I'm gonna go make fun of these guys. I was like, hey, you guys work at McDonald's and stuff like that. And they're like, here's an application, you're hired. And I was like, okay, well, now I work at McDonald's.
I know another fast food or another chain restaurant job you had is a chain that we recently reviewed with our buddy Griffin Newman, but I know you worked at Chuck E. Cheese.
I did.
How long did you work at Chuck E. Cheese for?
About a year.
Yeah. And part of your job, correct, was tracking how many kids entered and left?
Yes, I did kid check. I'm so bad at it. And they shouldn't put a 16-year-old guy that does drugs at 16 and smokes. I was taking smoke breaks at Chuck E. Cheese when I was 16 years old.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, you're in charge of like stamping people's hands.
Jesus.
So that kids leave with the same parents every time.
Right.
And I was like,
nothing bad ever happened, right?
Nothing bad ever happened. I just gave everybody the same number.
Yeah.
Like I never changed the number. Everybody that went in there, because it was blacklight.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even see it. So I just never gave anybody a different number. And then when they'd be leaving, I'd be like, oh, let me see it. Oh, yeah, go ahead. You know what I mean? I like never really paid attention. I did that. I'm like with jobs with me, I'm so bad at working.
Yeah.
Like I ended up doing Chucky most of the time when I was there.
You were wearing the mascot suit.
Yeah, because you more time smoking, because like Chucky is only out there for 15 minutes an hour.
Right.
So you go back into the back room, you smoke cigarettes for 40 minutes, and then you go back in with the Chucky costume back on, and and then go back and smoke some more. I did the same when I was a
It's
roofer.
so funny to me that you could have been the man inside of like for me, like as a child.
Yeah. I got beat up the first time I did it. It was I didn't get beat. I could have beat those kids up. They weren't like tough.
Yeah.
But they were punching the shit out of me. And the manager came and was like, this doesn't happen all the time. I only saw it happen one other time. A bunch of kids jumped on this girl that was in a Chucky costume and start fighting. We get her back in the back room. The guy's like, I didn't get my Chucky time. He needs to come out and take a picture with my kids by the limo. They took a limo to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh my God.
So they made me put the costume on and go out and stand with the guy whose kids just beat up Chucky by the limo. But yeah, I did that because it was the least amount of work. I also fixed games. Like that'd be a job I could go back to probably. Just in the game room, just fixing games, playing them. Like, I'm testing skee ball. I got real good at skee ball when I worked there.
That's awesome.
And the basketball. I'm not good now. But
yeah. Because you get a lot of reps.
Yeah, I was right next to the kid check stand. You just do that the whole time.
We played. It was broken though. Why? Because I almost said The Great Outdoors for my 1987 movie, and it was 1988.
Wow, you went with Predator.
I want to give you a few other ones that are that year.
Okay, great.
Full Meal Toll Jacket.
Pretty good.
You're not getting points for this now.
No. Hamburger Hill, which I guess doesn't even need a
Hamburger Hill-per.
That's good.
That's good.
Can we give points?
Yeah, Brian gets a point. Brian gets another point. Vinod, update the wiki.
Good Morning Vietnam Nom Nom.
Okay. That's really good.
The Empire of the Bun.
Fun.
All right, that's it.
Christian Bale's first movie. He's just a little boy in that movie. Yeah.
But a lot of good 87 movies I didn't realize.
Just
Bill Clinton would have liked.
Bill Clinton, definitely.
Just like a restaurant fire feedback. Let's open the feedback. We have a voicemail today. I don't know if we can play that.
We do. Give me 1 second.
Wow, a voicemail. what an auditory experience it is today. Auditory experience.
I feel like a lot of times we'll when we have an audio game, we'll end up with a audio feedback since we're using the speakers anyway.
I'd love to get a voicemail for guys. I'm sure we'd get the nastiest stuff of all time.
You should try it.
Guy just fucking farting in a hotel room.
Yeah, guys farting or accusing me of being a swinger.
All right, here's your voicemail.
Hey, Doughboys. This is Andy from Austin. I was just wondering, so back in college, at Ithaca College, in fact, I did some delivery for Sammy's for a little while.
Wow.
And at one point, I was delivering a bunch of food, and included in that food was a linguine and clam sauce. And trying to get into my car, it fell off my stack of stuff, and it spilled all over my car. And it was one of the worst smelling things I think I could ever spill in my car. Thankfully, I drive a Honda Element, and I could wash out the floorboard, but it still stunk for a few days. I had to go back in, get a new linguine and clam sauce. It was just a mess. So anyway, just wanted to know, have you guys ever had an experience like this where you spilled something in like your car or your house, you couldn't get the smell out? Or what do you think would be a terrible thing to spill? Again, thanks so much for all the good times and all the good listens. And go Bombers.
Go Bombers.
Go Bombers.
I think it would be horrible to spill diarrhea in your
Yeah, it'd be, Jesus Christ, what a mess.
My bucket. Oh, I've spilled my bucket of diarrhea.
The customer's going to be so mad.
You go back and get more diarrhea from the kitchen. Andy from Austin.
Sammy's wise. A place Amelia and I have both frequented.
What was Sammy's? Remind
Sammy's
me.
Pizza.
Pizza. Okay,
slices.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember it moved locations when I went there last because it used to be right on that corner there.
It's in the Commons now.
And it's now in the Commons. Yeah. But it was in the Commons technically still, but it just moved over. And my friend Dank and Luke used to you could steal slices from under the glass. They're scumbags. I love them both. But Dank and
Come on, Dank.
Dank and Poov. There was Dank and Poov.
I feel like Dank and Poov would get along famously with your friend Porno Sean.
Porno Sean was I don't know. Do they collect porno?
They definitely watch
open a
porno.
Store?
Oh no, they're not.
Porno Sean thought that the way you open a store is buy a lot of porno. I'm sure they roomed together too, though.
Oh, there you go.
We used to go to the video store and he would go back in the porno room and he would come out with like a ton of porno. I was like, how much porno do you need? And he was like, I'm opening up an adult bookstore over by Buckeye Lake. There's none there. I was like, that's not how you open up a store, Sean.
No, Porno Sean seems to be even more fucked up than.
Yeah. He's a very stupid man. He was the toughest guy I knew, though.
Oh,
so
sure.
He was the guy that stuck up for me and stuff like that. So, but he did collect a lot of porno.
I remember Poov beat the hell out of someone in the Commons one. A guy who was being an asshole right in front of Sammy's, kind of close to it at least.
Is this a Poov I met, or I can't remember if this is the same Poov?
You met. I think you met Poov. Yeah, you did. You met Poov.
That Poov?
Yeah.
Okay.
Poov's the man.
Who's the other Poov?
Joe Aranda. Did you meet Poov? The lineup creator, basically. The guy who introduced me to the lineup.
Maybe I haven't met that Poov. I've only met one of them.
If you have. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you have.
Anyway, so the
a great that's Ithaca's big slice shop. What was the other
Sammy's.
one? Remember there was another one next to it's probably gone by the time you were there.
Ithaca Pizza.
Yeah,
probably Ithaca Pizza.
It is Ithaca Pizza.
It's called
Ithaca Pizza.
You know what? As for someone who spills as much as I do, in fact, earlier Emma stopped me because I was walking in the studio carrying all three of these drinks at once. And
water, the coffee, the smoothie, it was gonna go.
You saw what was about to happen, so you stepped in. But I for someone who spills as much as I do, I can't think of a notable spill in my car. But part of that is because I'm very cautious in the car of making sure I have a sealed container. I know what's going. I know I could potentially dump this thing all over. So I always have even before I had a Yeti, I had something like that. Some sort of tumbler, or if I get a drink from a restaurant, I'm keeping the fucking lid on and using the straw or whatever. I did have a moment on tour. I think this might have been actually when we were in the Midwest, maybe even in Ohio, but I got a coffee from a gas station and then I had the lid off to cool it down, and I was just sitting in the back seat next to Carl with like an open coffee, and he was like, "Nick, what are you doing?"
Carl was scared for his life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
Did you spill it or no?
I didn't spill it, but I immediately put the lid back on. He was right.
I've spilled a lot of coffee in my car, like lattes, because
Oh,
like
man.
I'm buying them for 3. You know, when you go for me, the wife, and the daughter,
Right.
There's not enough cup holders, so one of them has to. You get a cup. I guess you have to get a drink holder and then put it on the seat next to you.
Yeah, that's the move, I guess.
Yeah, but the place by my house, both exits, you're cutting across traffic. And it's a busy street. They're both busy streets. So you basically have to just slam on the gas and turn as fast as you can.
Oh, man.
And I've spilled so many lattes in the car doing that. Now I kind of put my hand over like it's a baby or something. But even
the cup
then,
holders in the back seat.
there are cup holders in the back seat. I'm too stupid to use those. I should definitely do that.
That's for me. I'm thinking of like queso or something spilling in your car.
Oh yeah, some sort of gross food.
My cup of queso spilled in the car.
That is, I'm like some sort of cheesy, like I mean, I don't spill too much in my car. The issue I'll have is I'll leave a drink in my cup holder for too long and it just goes through the bottom of it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I once while we were road tripping, I was driving and I tried to open a kombucha. And it was like we were on the highway, and I just like opened it, but it had been shaken up too much, and it like exploded, like sprayed kombucha like, all over. I caught most of it with myself, but like I was soaked with kombucha, but and it didn't end up smelling that bad. But I was really scared that it was just gonna reek of fermented tea for weeks.
Little kombucha strands.
Yeah, that'd be nasty.
My wife likes to bring a cooler with her, like with bubble waters in it, and that thing leaks every single time. Like every time it's in the car, she's like, the floorboards are wet. And it's like, no fucking shit. Coolers leak. Like they all do. They don't make them. Well, I guess Yetis probably don't, but yeah.
That is my road trip cooler is a Yeti because it doesn't leak.
No, ours are like $5 because I'm cheap and I love expensive stuff. I just haven't gone the Yeti route yet.
Coolers, I feel like every cooler I've had has just been like, I've just got, like, I don't even remember where I got this. So it's like the cheapest piece of shit. And yeah, it absolutely, you put any ice in there, it's leaking all over the fucking place. What you were just talking about, Emma, I feel like that's like a pretty, that feeling of like, I'm just going to spill on my couch or whatever. I'm going to spill in my car. And like, so I'm trying to catch it on my own body and clothes.
Yes.
Like, that's not a great feeling, but I can very much relate to it.
Driving for the next 6 hours, like soaking wet.
Right.
With kombucha.
I've definitely done that a number of times.
Linguine and clams is pretty bad.
That's fucking awesome. There's nothing.
As bad as it gets.
Yeah, like seafood and dairy. Like that's just an absolutely disgusting thing to have.
I've had like
drying in your car.
I've had like my pants soaked from like Diet Coke spilling on me and shit.
Yeah, sure.
And that is bad. I mean, like if you have a sticky thing that spills on you, it's bad. But it's also like whatever. That happens a lot of the time.
It sucks to be
the Wendy's when my car got malfunctioned with my mom and it almost crushed us.
Right.
Like, that was obviously one thing that. But like, I haven't spilled too much gross thing. But seafood is pretty bad. And I think just like chunky shit that would fall on your floor.
What was it was one of the French chains that we went to, or maybe it was Panera.
Oh, Le Petit Quotidien or whatever.
Was that
Le
Pain Quotidien?
Oh,
I don't remember what it was. Yes, I was reading the weirdest spill I had in my car was still when I had a baguette and I dropped it somewhere in my car and I never found it. Fuck happened to that baguette? No idea.
Do you even still have that car?
Yeah.
It might still be in there.
It might still be in there, like deep under the seat. I think it's also possible that at some point it just like fell out of the door or something like that. But I said on the podcast, but I never thought a man could lose a baguette until it happened to me.
Clam chowder.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty bad one.
Clam chowder would be awful. That's like linguine and clams.
Yeah, same difference.
But
you had the worst one.
Yeah, I think
you got the worst one.
Andy, I think that's what happened.
The worst one.
The worst thing that could possibly be spilled in your car happened to your car.
Unless it was a bucket of diarrhea, like you said.
I would never bring my bucket of diarrhea with me without a top on it.
Andy spills diarrhea in his car. Larry's like, man, it still wasn't as bad as that linguine and clams.
Would you rather spill linguine and clams in your car or have someone barf in your car?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I would rather spill linguine and clams in my car than have someone barf in my car.
Barf.
100%.
I take the barf.
You take the barf?
I take the barf. Because
Why?
that I feel like is like, someone barfed in my car, it's whatever. You know, like I feel like I can explain that.
Yeah.
And it also like I feel like
you can explain that your linguine and clams spilled in your car too, but it is. I guess it's weirder.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to say.
I mean, first of all, go Bombers. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just have real food. It would suck, and it would smell bad. And thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you, Eddie,
for doing that. But barf that's horrible.
If you have a question or comment about the world of chain restaurants, you can email us at feedback@birdfuck.com or leave us a voicemail at 830-GODO. That's 830-463-6844. Our producer is Emma Erdbrink. Our associate producer is Amelia Marino. Our supervising video producer is Casey Donahue, and our video editor is Mike Dorfman.
Aren't you just mad when you spill food? That's the thing for me. I'm mad that I don't get to eat it.
I wasted this thing, and it's a fucking mess. It sucks. Hey, Doughboys apparel and merchandise, Mitch, is available in partnership with Kinship Goods. Find it over at kinshipgoods.com/Doughboys. And hey, you can get the Doughboys Double, our weekly bonus episode, plus our entire pre-2018 back catalog by subscribing at patreon.com/Doughboys. So check out all that stuff. Bryan Quinby, guys, love this podcast. Such a fun pod. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me and Mitch on for Hot Sauce Guys. Such a hoot. People should check it out if they haven't already. Tell everyone about the podcast. Anything else you want to promote?
It's Guys, a podcast about guys. It's patreon.com/Guys Podcast. And just check it out. I mean, you can usually search we've gotten to the point where you can search guys on the podcasting app and it'll come up.
Yeah.
So listen to it. There's a lot of episodes, a lot of weird stuff. We've uncovered a lot of weird things.
After you did Fart Guys, you did Smart Guys with me. That was a recent episode I guested on. People can listen to that one. People should also listen to the Hot Sauce Guys one we did back in the day, and then the pizza one with Eva Anderson. But there's a whole bunch. Gabrus has been on the pod. A lot of YKS has been on the pod a bunch.
The Wrestling Guys episode is always really fun because it was like a Royal Rumble. We had 10 guests.
That one was really fun.
That's great.
It's a really fun one. Yeah, that's the one I always said to check out.
You had Nick on Smart Guys, ironically, right?
I did Fart Guys and then Smart Guys, and then the next week I did Tool Guys with Jesse Farrar, and then this week is Tool Guys, the band, with Wolf Parade. So I'm being a goof. I'm being cheeky.
Hey, that'll do it for this episode of Doughboys. Until next time, for the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell, I'm Tiger Weiger. Happy eatin'.
See ya.
That was a Headgum podcast.